It is up now. Testing 1, 2. Go. We'll just kind of.
Not hearing
So
myself.
Can't hear anything. You're on though. All right.
We're on. We just can't hear any feedback. Brent, I'll let you take the lead, and I'll introduce you. Brent Martindale, Ken Purdy, Sting TV.
So everybody, we're not sure. We've had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the game, and Wasatch Wasps have had some technical difficulties.
Yes, they have. I think that's a great way to put it.
So just like that, Ken Purdy.
After what you said,
52 still left in the first quarter. Wasatch finds themselves down 14-0. And what can you say so far?
Well, definitely some defensive breakdowns. They've ran a total of 3 plays, and 2 ended up in the end zone. So we are a little behind the 8 ball, and I think it started out with and Brent, maybe you can start with that an onside kick, and they actually kicked 2 kickoffs. we're an onside kick variety.
Yeah, I mean we'll look at it here again. So if we're able to see what Weber is doing is it's you'd compare it to a fake onside
right
kick.
So you have 2 kickers and you don't know which one's going to get it, and they're just kind of booting it in the corner, and
it is taken this time. So 3 different kickoffs and 3 different locations.
Right. So first play of the game, Weber throws a pass to Moa, their arguably their MVP, who catches it, takes it to the end zone.
On the very first play, just very reminiscent of the Utah game.
Yep. They kick it. They try the onside again, or the trick play. Wasatch recovers it, 3 and out, gives it back to him, and 2 plays later, they find the end zone on a run.
I think there might have been 3 plays.
Yeah, with a sophomore. I think you mentioned Dyson Parker, Matt Kelson back.
And right now, Wasatch just looking a little out of sync. Passes not being, just not completing. Well, pass a little here, a little forward there, sometimes just in and out of the hands. And so there is a lot of game left. Quarterback Matt Kelson back. Carter Bucad, the workhorse, behind him and he will get the ball, and he's got space on the right side. He's gone 10 yards, 15 yards, finally brought down at midfield, the 50-yard line.
And then you said it best there. He has been the workhorse for Wasatch. Basically, kind of put him on their back last week. We'll talk about the game in Madison at a little bit later.
Carter Bucad, once again, 77 carries this year.
Wow.
Before these 2 or 3 that he just did, he's coming up out of that pile limping just a little bit, but 77. The next closest runner for Wasatch is Calder Osborne with 18. So
we do use him.
Bucad once again. This time he flips. Oh, he's caught just barely. Great open field tackle there. Caden Lindholm of Weber High School. And if Lindholm doesn't catch him there, he goes for another first down, I think, on that.
So Weber High comes in here, hasn't got a notch to win yet this season, 0-3.
Couple of heartbreakers.
Played some really good teams.
Yep. Lost in overtime their first week to Westlake.
Yep.
Apparently it was quite a
max scrambles.
And the pass is incomplete. That's going to make 4th down. Yeah, apparently a heartbreaker for and one of the coaches said it was just unfortunately at that point lost the game and had a chance to win in the 4th quarter and lost the game and then had to play PG the next week. So they've kind of run into a couple
great insight. Brent grabbed the Weber coaching staff as they were getting ready for the game and got some insight for us.
Wasatch
great ball.
4th down. They're going to convert.
Very nice ball.
Pass complete.
Great pitch and catch. Little comeback. Almost reminiscent of a back shoulder throw, and JoJo went up high to get it.
I actually have that as that's number. Is it 6?
Yeah, it was 6. JoJo higher.
Okay, I thought it looked like it was 8.
I'd seen that too. It's just the way he wears his jersey.
Well, I'm actually still convinced that was 8. That was Chase Harr. No, you're right. It's 6.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. JoJo Hire has been their
22 catches, 340 yards, scored a couple times last week. Wasatch coming off a big win for this season. They dropped their first 2 games, and they beat a Madison team there for the Idaho Rumble.
What a fun thing. That sounds so awesome.
Yeah, it does. It does.
A fun couple of days.
And talking to the coaches, it was a first-class act. They treated them well. They enjoyed themselves, and it's always great to come out with a win.
So that would be the second first down of this drive for Wasatch. Timeout was called. And when they come back on the field, there's 8:28 left here in this first quarter here in Heber City at Wasatch High School. Matt Kelson back along right next to Carter Burkott. Kelson's going to step back. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man that tripped.
JoJo tripped.
That is going to be an interception.
He's in the. Can he bring that out?
Yeah, I'm
well,
not
good
sure
job for JoJo. Now, yeah, it's not a kickoff, so he can bring it out. JoJo got up and made the tackle. Unfortunate for Wasatch, and that has been the tone for today.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Ian Elmore with the interception unfortunately. So we don't have the replays yet, I don't believe. But
Matt Kelson was injured last week at the Madison game, went out, and Carter Burkott picked up the slack and ran. Yeah. Carter was a quarterback previous years here at Wasatch, so it wasn't a big drop. He did a fantastic job and obviously brought home the win. Mac had a dislocated finger, and he is back in action. And things going a little bit fast for Wasatch, trying to catch up tonight.
So after the turnover, that is Nkosi Swain. Swain has had the majority of the carries. For
Swain a little off tackle, and we got to the ball well on that. So defensively, Wasatch has made some adjustments through the year, which can be kind of a little tough on the kids, but they have adapted really well. Did a great job stopping the run last week. Pass coverage seems to be an issue a little bit with them, and they're shoring that up. But that's what preseason's for. We got to get that
wide open. That is another run hole in the line. One more defender to take down Swain, and that is a
great
tackle.
effort.
And Swain is finally brought down by Luke Hicken, I believe. And he's brought down, maybe that's 19, Parker Turner, actually. Parker Turner brings down Swain. And it looks like they're going to call it right at about the 10, no, we'll call it the 12-yard line. Wow, another fantastic run by Swain.
Boy, and it's coming right in the middle of the defensive line.
Swain, we don't have now easily with over 100 yards already here in the first 100 yards rushing here in the first quarter. And so it'll be 1st and 10 at the Wasatch 12-yard line. And like you mentioned, that was just a hole in the line. Pass is complete. That is complete.
Great job.
From Ketchikarne to, that looks like Tyler Payne.
Defensively, great job for Wasatch. Got off, shed some blocks, rallied to the ball out there on the edge. That, Brent, in case you're wondering, is the new dive play.
Oh,
is that you spit it out to the receiver on the edge and look for a block. And hope to gain a few yards. Last year, Crew Erickson took that to the house more often than not. Here's a little quick count under center. And Swain again.
Once again, that is
nice job.
Dyson Parker, who scored the touchdown, the second touchdown of the game. That's another big stop, actually, for Wasatch. It'll be 3rd and about 8.
So the tempo has been, they've slowed it down. They've been in shotgun. They've been in trips. They've been in a heavy set that you saw under center. They're throwing the kitchen sink at us tonight. And we're slowly but surely, I'd love to see these guys get a stop right here and at least force a field goal.
A little bit of confusion for the Warriors, so they're going to take a timeout. And
that comes with the territory when you're running some new stuff and throwing some wrinkles in. But like I said before, Brent, you're coming in here 0-3. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Both coaches are familiar with each other. I believe Jason Anderson coached with Coach Coburn. And it may even have played for him at Snow. So there's some familiarization. Jason's been around the league for a while. Not quite as tenured as Steve Coburn, but a good coach nonetheless.
When Weber comes out of their timeout, they will be third. And I mentioned 8 a minute ago. It looks like they got a little more favorable.
Yeah, they did
on that. So it'll be third and probably 6.
It's a big stop for Wasatch right here. We can slow the tempo down.
And that's the first time Weber's had a third down in the
game. They're a little pressure and
touchdown.
Lost somebody in the back. The end zone is.
That is Braylon Parker.
Really fast.
That touchdown. So in this first quarter, wow, Weber has scored 3, count them 3 touchdowns against a Wasatch team that looked really good defensively last week.
Yep. Well, everybody has film, Brent, and the way these coaches prepare nowadays, they come in and usually scripted, but, their first 10, 15 plays, and I don't even think they've got through that.
So the kick is good by Alex Johnson of the Warriors of Weber. And, wow, just like that, 21-0. I'm going to say I've never seen here in the time that I've been calling games a 21-0 lead in the first quarter for the opponents of Wasatch. So
they come out humming. And, and the good thing about scoring early like this, you got plenty of time.
Lots of
time. And, we've seen Wasatch go up-tempo. Matt Kelson definitely has the arm to stretch the field, and JoJo Heyer is electric, and Carter Bukad broke quite a few runs last week. So I don't count us out, but this doesn't feel good. Nobody, coaching staff, kids.
Yeah.
Nobody likes this feeling.
The crowd, the student section on their feet, and like you say, you're either looking at a long night or you're looking at one of the greatest comebacks you've ever seen. So compliments to Weber right now. They have
same look. Looks like they do this every time. You don't know which way they're going. And then what they're going to try to do if they don't go short and onside, they're going to try to put it in the corner. It's a little bit of a new it's a nuance that teams are doing. You try to put it in the corner and get your coverage over there instead of putting it in the middle and having them come in. You put it to one side.
Okay.
Decent.
Will Wright is he's coming up, getting up a little
he's
slow.
A little bit,
he did get hit hard there.
A little bit slow getting up.
Yeah, he's getting up. So I believe that is Will Wright. Let's see.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, again, Wasatch looking to just somehow stoke the fire. And so everything looking the same at the moment. Matt Kelson back. His finger not even wrapped, it looks like to me. So
he may have the old basketball where you got 2 of them wrapped together, but I don't know that you can throw that way.
That pass is complete.
Not a bad spot, 4 yards. Again, that's the new dive play, Brent.
Okay.
The new dive play.
JoJo Heyer.
Looks like
once again, so it'll be second. They gain about 4, looks like. This time, Kelson fakes it,
nice jump.
That'll be a first down.
Looks like that's Mason.
Hutch Solomon?
Mason Solomon. Oh, Hutch Solomon, excuse me. Hutch had a great game last week. Mason had a great game. Mason, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns last week, at least 1.
And Wasatch with their no-huddle
there we go.
Quick offense starting to look like they're getting some traction
here. They're getting it moving a little bit. We're getting a little comfortable.
Looking at these teams, and again, no huddle going very quickly, and maybe this is something that might put Weber a little on their heels. Pass is complete once again.
Mac, great job. Took advantage. So Weber runs a 4-2-5 defense. They sent a 5-man pressure. Linebacker came up, and Mac just threw right where he vacated.
And it looked like once again to Hutch Solomon. Solomon now with 2. There's this time Bukad's going to go to the left.
We got some laundry.
Space. And it looks like
we got 2. We got 2 flags that went down. So maybe we got
Usually in the backfield, it means a hold, right?
Yeah, it could be a hold or some kind of movement. But then there was another flag right at the point of the play where Carter made contact with Weber's defense over there on the sideline, so that we could have a face mask there or block.
Teams, Wasatch looks like they're backing up a little bit. So,
well,
yeah, Wasatch definitely backing up already, so they know.
We're used to bad luck tonight, so that's not going to phase us. I like what we're doing. We're moving the ball. The run and the pass is working for us. We're finding some holes. Max settling down.
So looking at, while we're looking for a call here from the penalty, again, Wasatch already is back. Oh, they're coming back now. So it doesn't look like it's either. So it is a hold on the offense, but that has been declined.
So it negated, or boy, I don't know why we're 5 yards back there. So we ended up on the short end of the stick of something, but it's better than 10 yards or 15, Brent.
Well,
first down.
So it'll still be first down at about 15 for Wasatch, and I would say Wasatch has as many first downs as Weber does in the game. Weber's just happened to be 70 yards runs, 70 yards. And there's an offsides. Once again, Wasatch has to do that at least 3 or 4 times.
And it's and what it does is it slows people down. They're coming hard. You can throw a screen pass or you do that quick count and get them.
And it's hard for teams defensively, for sure, because they're always in the rush offense. And there's Bukad going up the middle. He's going to be near another first down for Wasatch.
And on that run, I got to say, watching the Madison game, they did their broadcast. They loved them some Carter Bukad.
Second down and 2. Kelson's going to keep it. He's got a little pressure. He gets it. It is complete. Once again, it looks like
I think they got it. Yep. I think. No. I'm sorry. They're going to be short. It's going to be 3rd and short. I really like Hutch Solomon and Mason Gomez. I like how those guys are coming together. They're getting a little more confidence. And if you see, we're pretty much in the same formation. We've got JoJo wide with Hutch and Mason in the slot, and now we're going to let JoJo say the single wide, and maybe we're going to get a one-on-one with him because there's no safety deep over him.
A big 3rd down here for Wasatch. 3rd and 1. Kelson's going to throw. He's got a man open and that's
touchdown. That's a pass interference and a touchdown. And he's not going to call either because there's a little pushing on both sides, and we get the 6. So just like I thought, we were going to. We isolated JoJo down here at the bottom. No safety help over the top, and great ball by Matt Kelson. No, Mac didn't hide that either. I mean, he held the safety for just a second, and then he let it go, and what a great ball.
Big throw to the corner will be the first score for Wasatch. And, boy, just in time, right?
Yep. I like that drive. We've got a little momentum now. And Mr. Automatic, Ashton Southam.
Kick is up. And it is good. So, fireworks once again here in the first quarter. It looks like a final score, but it is just the end of the first quarter. Well, there's still 4 minutes almost left in the first quarter. 28 points have been scored by these two teams. And you know what? You just don't expect anything less.
No. And in high school football, every Friday night, you never know what you're going to get. And again, the tools these coaches have now at their disposal to prepare for a game. Yeah, I remember the driver's ed car had to drive the VHS cassette tape, 3 towns over to trade tape on Thursday afternoon. You got 3 days to look at it and you're playing. Nowadays, it's uploaded after the game, and they've done a great job.
And it's on social media. And it's everywhere.
So stats are going to be skewed in the first half, and we're going to try to bring those to you at halftime. But Wasatch really did a great job against the run last week. I know it doesn't appear that was an emphasis because of the 2 long runs, but
maybe that's more of a matchup.
Yeah, and it could be, and they're just seeing a weakness. Our strength is definitely on our defensive end. Garrett Christensen, leading tackler, a senior, is one of those defensive ends, and they run away from him. And that's not going to be in this. That's returnable.
Returnable here. That is returned. It looks like he might have stepped out of bounds, but still on his feet. So
everybody getting to the ball.
That is Joshua Hamblin.
And then we got a flag for a little extracurricular activity, and number 30 with Weber is getting his hat handed to him. Coach is like, why did we do that? So that'll step him back, and we'll have great field position.
So the story, of course, this week with Weber High School is some unfortunate investigations going on with Weber. We can talk about that really quickly. All we know is there has been some suspensions, firing. I believe the offensive coordinator for Weber.
You mentioned that. It's on KSL.
And, we're not saying anything that hasn't been
Principal's been suspended. And it sounds like impropriety in bringing over a player and the quarterback, I believe.
Some type of recruiting, yeah.
So it's unfortunate the kids get locked up in that. They just want to play football.
And amazing, there's no looking like there's any problems with the offense
right
at the moment. So those type of things do happen. This one just happens to be on a team that Wasatch happens to be playing this week.
And I almost thought coming in here this might be a big distraction for him. Well, it hasn't been. Hasn't slowed him down. But you know what? We'll see. We've had some time to look at get on the sidelines and look at the big screen TV and see where that weakness is. It's obviously coming up, and I call it the A gap, B gap, the interior of the offensive line, and there's no second level. So they're spreading us out, and linebackers have got to stay home.
Crew Kachkarne is the quarterback. This is a run this time by Dyson Parker.
Good little back.
Parker has done a great job. He already has a touchdown in this game and at least a couple carries of more than 10 yards. So
the run game is legit, but we do a good job. You're holding them to, 5 yards of carry for anybody is a win.
While Crew Kachkarne was off for a couple of games, Joshua Hamblin, who just returned that kick,
good athlete,
was the quarterback and really fit in very
his knee had to go down.
There is
either way we get a loss on that.
Loss of yard. That's a big tackle that time.
And that's a perfect down to do that. Now we get a long third down.
And that's 56. Is that Preston Barker or is that 58? I believe it's 58. So that would be Crew Baxter.
Yeah, Crew just came off, rotating that defensive line, keeping him fresh. And I think Crew's just a sophomore. So good job.
So this is the first time, once again, that it's probably only the second third down we've had, but at this time big yardage. And 10.
Yeah, and back to back. So we're stopping the run.
In motion is
empty set.
Swain, and all by himself in the back is Kachkarne.
There you go.
Time, a little pressure. He's got a man open.
Great ball,
and it is caught right in midfield.
Garrett Christensen got some pressure on him. I thought it was, and he stood tall in the pocket.
Tackle that time by Will Wright, who got a little roughed up back a couple of possessions ago. I saw him warming up
he
on
did.
The sidelines, and so he's back in the game.
We're getting
that tackle.
That was a great pass.
Big first down for Weber. Third down conversion. There's off to Swain. Swain's going to get about 4 yards, and he's tripped up and brought down.
I love to see our best player on defense, 99, Garrett Christensen, defensive end, is out on that tackle, chasing that down. So he's been active.
We got Cole Kelson coming off hurt. Looks like something's happened to either his arm or his
almost
shoulder.
Looked like yep, you're right.
He came off.
Cole's second leading tackler on the team and came up before the feed was live and made a great tackle.
Boy, he came off quick and just looked like he was calling for help. It'll be second down and about 8. There's a carry this time by Swain once again.
Nice job.
Down, but he will get a couple yards. So it'll be third down. And looks like they're going to say about 3rd and 3. Now we have another player down. That's not the one you
Garrett.
Want to see. Yeah, you don't want to see
Garrett
Christensen getting up rather slowly, holding his knee, but he is moving pretty good.
Probably just got a helmet or something that, you get kicked right there. It is so tender inside there, but yeah, we can't afford to lose Garrett. big third down here. And last time they passed, of course they needed to. It was a long third down, but we have done really well on the run.
This will be the third time in the last 2 possessions for Weber that they've had third downs, and that doesn't seem like much, but for what was going on early.
Middle of the field has been wide open for these guys. So
Ketchikarni back. He's going to he's going to keep it running himself. He's brought down.
That's a great job. Who was that? Jumping up. That was Brisk, Colton Brisk. Outstanding tackle, Colt.
Not going to be a loss of yards, but it's going to be right down at the goal line. And we're going to look and see what Weber might do here.
Colton from the linebacker position chased that down. I thought it was a great play call because we had shut that the running backs down in between the tackles. So that was a great play call.
Weber looks like they're going to line up. It looks like it might be
the quick kick again, huh?
Quick kick.
Nope. He
looked a little bit. He did get it off. And
no, I kind of knew that. That's live ball, guys.
It looks like they're not going to call it a
live
ball.
Wow.
So,
I thought he touched it.
Yeah, that was. I think
he was.
Whole crowd.
Yeah, he was. He was not running after it like it was on it was on fire. So that would make sense.
So Will Wright lets that ball bounce, and then Wasatch will take over at their own 20-yard line.
So good stand there. Middle of the field has hurt us. And they took advantage on that long third down, but we forced our first punt tonight.
And we're looking at the first time Weber did not convert a third down tonight. So, yeah, looking at little victories for Wasatch. Yep. Matt Kilson's going to be back. He's going to throw quickly. That time it's batted away.
Yeah, got a hand in it.
I'm going to say it was the 76 Caden Aaron of Weber.
That angle is tough on the short side of the field. That we call it the boundary. You have the field as the wide side, the boundary's the short side, and it's tough to throw that if it's not behind the line of scrimmage. You got that guy. They are wide.
Matt Kelson's going to throw again. He looks left again. He's got a man open, and
nice
that
ball.
Is a catch.
Great job. 84.
That will be
Mason Gomez.
You mentioned him earlier.
Yep.
Both got a couple of players down.
Mason did a great job last week. I love how he came. And listen, Max, the strength of Max's arm allows that to happen because I don't know that was his first read. And he just flicked that out there. Mason did a good job standing at the sticks.
And, boy, he had 4 Warriors tackling him down.
Well, the other thing, too, is Mason, he had the wherewithal to catch that ball and then kind of step back and come around.
Got him a few extra yards, didn't it?
Yep. And he didn't lose any, right? I hate to see when guys are running too far backwards, but let's move the chains. I don't know why they're holding them. Oh, we're flopping. That's why.
Of the first quarter. That is the most productive first quarter we've seen here at Wasatch in a long time. The Weber State, the Weber Warriors with the big 21-7 lead here at the end of the first quarter. We thank you for joining us here at Sting TV. Again, we hope a few of you are with us. We had some technical difficulties at the very beginning of the game, and
you didn't miss anything. Well, you missed a lot, but it was some technical difficulties that Mr. Lane got fixed at the last minute.
It almost looks like we're being sabotaged sometimes.
Yeah.
Before he has things ready to go.
The gremlins.
He gets here and something happens.
I don't think he likes it if he doesn't have some pressure on there.
Well, and I don't know how he does it without swearing. Somehow he does.
Trips in the pistol formation. They read that well.
The handoff to Bacad. He is met hard.
I was just gonna comment. I'd like to see us run the ball a little bit right there, and
Cooper
and that got shut down. So
a senior for Weber met him and brought him down quickly. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Kelson's this time going to look at, takes a couple
nice
steps
screen.
Back, gives it to Carter Bacad. He found the left
nice job,
side
Carter,
and gets a few yards. Almost to the first down. It looks like they're going to put him just a yard short.
Wow, great play. It's hard not to be a fan, sit up here and cheer for the kid. What a great move. He is so shifty in the mock, but a great play call too. And notice the splits of the Wasatch line that we've widened those splits out.
Kelson keeps it.
Oh, he got
That's going to be
throw the flag. There we go.
That will be what we're guessing is pass interference. Yep. And so if the reception was made, it would have been by
Cash Coombs.
Cash Coombs.
Cash Coombs, number 87. He's that.
87.
He's that. So you have two. They move Mason and Hutch in that slot back and forth, but their base formation is trips, and they leave either JoJo and that's where we scored last time is leaving JoJo. There's not a safety over JoJo, and I don't know if this guy can bump coverage.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Wasatch. Kelson's back, a little bit of a rush. This time it is caught down the sideline, the 5-yard touchdown.
I did not say it, so nobody. But I was like, they're going to go to him again. Like I mentioned, they came up and bump. He was all by himself. Oh, we got a flag at the very end. I don't know what.
Yeah, I didn't see any flags during the play, but so once again, JoJo higher. And boy, that score brings Wasatch. It's going to bring Wasatch within 1 touchdown.
So if I would have got to finish my sentence, I would have said that they're going to go to them. I mean, it was a perfect down to do it. They've already shown they can't keep that corner cannot keep up with JoJo. And JoJo's dropped some passes, and listen, I'm gonna tell you what, this kid is a talent. He's dropped some easy balls that he should have, and I think he's just young. But that ball right there, he went and got it in his hands, and I think he's growing and maturing as a player. But you know what? When you catch that many balls, when you lead the team, and you get a little tired.
Right.
And
we've got a little bit of issue. We're trying to figure out here what's going on.
There was a
flag. I still haven't seen anything of what, and nobody, I don't see a referee has called anything. And so, I mean, would they have?
Maybe he could have waved it off. I don't know if it was taunting or.
Oh, bad toss, and they're going to be this.
Get it up, kid.
And yeah, so that's going to be
safe.
Colton Bassett just got
probably smart play.
An unfortunate snap. Looks like it just wasn't going to make it happen for the kick, and so he scrambled a little bit. Looked like he might want to throw it, but then ended up coming down. So,
Coach Coburn, that's his special teams is his baby. So I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. I'm not sure if Garrett Christensen was in. He is usually the long snapper, and last we saw he was a little injured. So
we looked over here to the right, and we do not see Christensen anymore. And so
I would assume
they are working on Kelson, who came out a little bit ago. Cole Kelson, something to do with his shoulders. I would imagine just a stinger on his left shoulder of some type. But Kelson, you can tell, he just wants to get back out there. So they're just wrapping him up anything they can.
Your 2 leading tacklers are banged up for the defense, and we did a great job last time. Hey, kudos to the offense. A really great play calling, mixing it up. I'd love to see Carter get a little bit loose. He's not been able to do that, but that was a big 3rd down pickup that he had on the screenplay, where just a little juke, and he didn't have a whole lot of room on the short side of the field, and stayed in bounds. And
so, I got to say, Ken, there was that little bit of confusion for Wasatch on, I don't know who it was. Somebody was coming over to the sideline, and another player ran onto the field for the kickoff. So I wonder if it had something to do with the center or something.
They backed him up.
So, yeah, the kickoff is at the 25-yard line.
And I'm not sure really, I wish I knew what the rule was that enforces that on the kickoff and not on the extra point.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Boy, that was a big kick, and it backed Swain up. Boy, if that ball had taken a Wasatch bounce. But so Weber will take over at their own 20-yard line. And, Ken, you mentioned the offense. Boy, we got to give kudos also to the defense. I mean,
absolutely.
Weber hasn't scored now since the middle of the first quarter, and when they scored 3 touchdowns.
So we're taking that run away a little bit. The quarterback is he's got a great arm. He stands in the pocket nice and tall, and he delivers a really good ball. So they've hurt us in the middle of the field. I'd much rather get passed on the outside and force them outside instead of letting them have the middle of the field. That'll hurt you.
Kachikari making a couple of little calls here, looking at something. He saw something on the defense. He's going to give it to Swain. Swain
Great
gets
job.
met right in the middle.
Again, that's a 3-yard gain. Come on, dude.
And there's some flags. What it looked like was Dalton Hill, and I'm not sure who they're going to call that on.
Yeah, I don't either.
They're going to give it to Hill.
Because I think at first it was, I heard our faithful down here yelling, so I'm sure the Weber kids started it.
I was watching it,
and then
Payne pulled him down.
So the Payne
kept him down and held him down. And so that, to me, if they saw that,
yeah.
And then it was
Payne's one of their better players. He is he's the son of Mitch Payne, former BYU kicker. And if you remember Mitch,
they're going to call it on both players.
Yeah, and that's what I thought, because at the very end, we pushed as well.
Yeah,
and it's what they can see is what they call.
I kind of like that he pushed back. Dalton Hill, I mean, it was like, get off me, and he shoved him a little bit in the helmet. Maybe that's what it was for his
But the Payne kid, his dad, Mitch Payne, BYU kicker, he used to he'd kick off and then deliver the tackle. And I mean, he had some.
I remember that. I remember
he had some knuckle busters. I remember the Boise game. He blew up a couple people.
Offsetting penalties will keep it at second down and about 7.5. Weber, boy, they've got another man open this time. It is Moa. So
got it back.
Moa. And boy, another big gain.
We're in a cover 2 concept down there, and we got to get hands on a little bit more. And that safety has got to get over the top of them quicker.
That'll be the first big gain for Weber since about the middle of the first quarter.
Since that big long pass, the first of the game, too, to Moa. But
back again, Carson. Now, this time the pass.
Good job, Nate. Will, that's outstanding play.
Once again, Will Wright coming out of that early injury.
Just talking to
has made a couple of big plays.
And with a safety back deep like that, that's a great play for Will. He's one of the safeties there. But they're running a little bit of a cover 2. You might want to even call it a Tampa 2. And the corner is going to stay low. We call it a squat, and the safety is going to take over the top. Well, the way to beat that is you throw that ball right in the middle. So a little more. Little bit heavier hands from the corner on that receiver to slow him up. But you see, Weaver's going to the pass. We've shut the run down. They've had to pass it, and they've been successful. And it takes a couple of those. That's a fantastic play by Will Wright.
So it'll be look like so the penalty is made it still first down. We don't know what the penalty is, but it'll be 1st and 15 after that incomplete pass. And we don't know what it was.
Big pull.
Kachikarni, he's going to keep it.
Great job.
He gets down just about to the original line of scrimmage.
A little bit of quarterback power. Both the left side of the line, the guard and the tackle, both pulled. He faked the handoff. He rode that for a little bit and then followed it. I believe, being of the Coach Coburn school, he schooled me a little bit on defense, and we call that the quarterback power.
Kachikarni is listed at 6'1", 170. He is a junior. And, boy, he's quick.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. Anybody remembers quarterback power? It was me, Jason Money of the old Spanish Fork days.
Kachikarni getting some pressure. Had a lot of time.
Good job.
He's going to get run out once again. Just probably a yard. Oh, and it looks like they're going to get a late hit charge to Wasatch.
Coach Coburn's not happy.
Did you see that? I just could not see it. I wish we had the.
Yeah, it happened fast. Something on the sidelines.
Boy, instead of it being 3rd and 10.
Yep.
If this is what
that
we
was
see,
picking it up.
Flag. Wow. So
that's
it will be 3rd and 10.
Boy, you don't see that often. Anyway, Jason Money ran the quarterback power for about 400 yards against us 1 year, so I know all about that play. Very familiar with it.
And it'll be 3rd and 11.
Garrett Christensen's back in. He was shooken up a little bit, came off limping, leads the team in tackles. And, listen to Ty and Ty. They do a great job on the radio. They always mention how smart Garrett is. He's, you always have a quarterback, sometimes the safety or the linebacker who kind of runs it. But Garrett is the MVP out there, and so he runs that.
3rd and 11 for the Warriors. Got your Carney back, and we've
nice
got a
job
whistle again. So that's either going to be
some kind of movement on them. But Garrett Christensen I was just touting him. He just made an inside move and had a beeline. So I don't know if they had a screen set up because it looked too easy letting guys go through.
Now they're calling offsides on Wasatch.
Darn it.
So instead of that being 3rd and 11, it will now be 3rd and about 6 for the Warriors. And wow, I got to say, I just didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I guess I was watching backfield a little bit.
Penalties biting both teams here, but that was a huge 3rd down for us to.
Yeah. So 3rd and 6 for Weber here in the second quarter, up 21-13 over the host Wasatch Wasp. Got your Carney back. He's got lots of time. This time he's pressured. Almost brought down, but he stays on his feet, and he got the ball up.
You got to stay in coverage. You got to stay in coverage.
That time, the reception by who I believe is Braylon Parker, if that is correct, number 2.
Colton Bassett in coverage, and I think he was thinking that we had a sack.
Boy,
and
Carney looked like he was down. It was so close to one knee being down, but he did a fantastic job of staying on his feet, scrambling to wide open space.
Oh, Coach Coburn.
Run.
Yep. Coach hates that. Coach always say stay in coverage back there. The game, it's not over till the.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But a big play for Weber. And here they go. Instead of being that 4th down, they're going to be 1st and 10 at the Wasatch 20-yard line. So Wasatch is going to take a timeout. Weber. So I tell you, beg your pardon, Weber will call a timeout. So while we're looking at the timeout, let's talk a little bit about the season. Ken, you mentioned earlier the big win for Wasatch last week in Rexburg, Idaho, after a couple of tough losses.
Right.
That first week at Park City, by the way, Park City's rolling.
Yeah.
And they are playing.
Well-coached team. We mentioned that several times that night. Lost to a Skyview team.
Oh, did they lose last night?
Our Wasatch lost to Skyview. Let's talk about Wasatch. The second game.
Okay.
And it was a big margin, but we started off really well.
It was close in the third quarter, just like the Park City game.
And they were still making some tweaks on the defense. Offense was rolling. Go down to Madison, and not knowing much about those guys. And they were a big. Talking to some of the defensive coaches, it was a good-sized team, and we really took it to them. Played well in all phases of the game. Matt Kelson was out for probably the whole second half.
Right.
Carter Bacad put the team on his back.
And it's like they didn't miss a beat hardly.
Yeah.
So here we go, 1st and 10 at the Wasatch 20-yard line. Weber threatening.
8:56 left in the half. And quarterback keep.
Carney is going to keep the ball. He's up still on his feet at the 6-yard line, 5-yard line. Boy, he's all the way
Whistle.
down.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
How
does that work? As long as he's making forward progress?
Yeah, and it really depends on the official. Back in the day, it was a safety rule not to stand a kid up.
Gotcha.
Once you kind of got him, but I guess the official deemed that he was still moving forward and his own power.
Officially, a gain of 9 yards.
That hurts.
2nd and 1. Weber not having scored since the middle of the first quarter. Carney looks going to pass right over the middle and touchdown.
Fantastic
Warriors.
play.
And that is going to be a pass to Tyler Payne of the Warriors. Or a touchdown right over the middle.
So a little bit of an RPO. He rides that running back in front of him, and then pulls it at the last minute. And that tight end probably just held for a second and then released in the middle and wide open, just right in front of the linebackers. And that's a great play on the end, when you're down there in the red zone.
So the kick is up and good. That's going to be 4 touchdowns for Weber tonight here in the first half.
We were, and penalties, Brent, whatever went down on the sidelines, and hey, they're kids, right? So they got emotions, but that penalty would have negated a great third down stop, and now we get a score from it. So back in the offensive hands, plenty of time for Matt Kelson.
This is exactly
neither teams eat up the clock.
No.
You know what I mean? So the running game is slowed down for both sides. We have a great running game. So,
well, I was thinking here while Weber's getting ready to kick off. The reasoning, people. I had a couple of students ask this week, why is Wasatch playing a 6A school? And I don't know if the schools are that much different in size. Wasatch is almost on the border of being a 6A school.
Yeah, I would think so.
But, it's simple. Coach Coburn just really wants to play tough teams. And they had this one arranged way back a year ago.
And our RPI affects you a little bit, but I don't know that much. It prepares you. We're working out some kinks. I like what I'm seeing.
And here, once again, Weber with their unique little style of – and, really you think, what is the advantage of doing the short little kicks or on the ground?
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to keep possession.
And you're kicking it to kids that aren't used to carrying the ball. So you just – case in point right there, that young man, number 10, probably hasn't had a carry all year. And he gets the ball. He hesitated for a minute,
but he did the right thing.
Yep,
he did hold of it.
Yep, 2 hands on
it. Both arms on it. And so Wasatch, plenty of time here. 8 minutes left here in the first half.
Carter split out.
Kelson's going to be back. He's got a little pressure on his left. He's got the pass up,
Great
and it
job.
is complete. Once again to JoJo Heyer.
Boy, I was watching Carter come across the middle of the field. He was just clearing that linebacker, and I thought Mac was waiting for him, and he turned and flipped. This kid has got such an arm.
Boy, that pass that time was just out of the reach of Parker Dyson Parker.
Empty.
Kelson again got a little time.
Great job, Matt.
Get across,
and he's mugged. That is a penalty.
Boy, that just
he's mugged.
Wow. Coaches on the Wasatch sideline just begging for that. So what do you call that? A really good protection play? Or you thought it was a penalty, huh?
Coach Christensen, that looked like pass interference. He mugged him.
It just looked like, and I wish we had the
especially when you come
when the ball's passing him, his arms looked like they were bound anyway. So
ball was in the air and he was getting
so it'll be 2nd and 10. And pass is going to be complete, but boy, that'll be a loss of yards. That's complete once again.
We had 2 linemen right there. So it was a screen set up, and we had 2 linemen, and they just let them go right past them.
So Wasatch looking at their first third and long situation in a long time. It'll be 3rd and about what looks like 15. Kelson's back. He's going to scramble, get out of the pocket to his right. Ball passes complete, and that is a first down. First down, Wasatch. That's 87.
Cash Coombs.
Cash
Coombs. He doesn't get a whole lot of balls, but he's come through when the balls come his way. He's made some big first down pickups.
That is as mature a play as I've seen Mac Kelson do in a while. He's just really growing and really getting stronger. I mean, he had pressure in the middle, got out of the pocket, went to the right.
And I was just going to say,
himself a little more time.
Love how he keeps his eyes downfield.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Weber 40. Pass cross field, and once again,
JoJo's got to come and get that instead of waiting for it.
Coverage that time once again by Joshua Hamblin.
JoJo's he's getting a little bit tired, but he's letting that come into his body.
Looks like another penalty. This time the penalty against Wasatch. Wow, another penalty. We did not see what it was, however.
Wow. It had been a hold.
So that means it'll remain. Does that make it remain first down?
I was just going to say, great. The line has done a great job. They're giving him plenty of time. Of course, I think they're only rushing 3. They bring somebody off the edge.
Kelson's going to run with it, go up the middle. Boy, he gets hit and catapulted forward job. For another 3 yards.
Boy, but he left with a purpose.
That just almost looked like
it was called. Play. It was a called run, and Mac's fast.
So it'll be second and looks like about 9. Wasatch right back in business here on the Weber 36-yard line, 37-yard line. Kelson all by himself. He's got time. He's got another player down. And, boy, it looked like, I was going to say he was tripped. That's Bucad, and they threw a flag.
I just saw him hit the ground, Brent. I'm glad you saw that. I didn't know why he went down.
Yeah, there was definitely a collision or whatever you want to call it, but he was, like I say, it looked like he was tripped. He went face forward, and so.
And why we didn't get that on the last pass, on the pass
one, right.
So it seems like every time their linebackers are pretty physical. They're going to try to put hands on you when you go by them.
Both teams being hurt by their own penalties at this point.
And both teams exploiting the middle of the field. A lot of passes in the middle of the field, other than, obviously JoJo on the outside. They got a safety over the top of him now.
1st and 10 at the Weber 23-yard line. This time wide open. That time the pass, boy, that was a great catch.
Guys, that is
You're speechless.
That is an upper tier catch and keeping your feet in.
When he almost stayed on his feet to even take a couple yards. But it'll be 2nd and 1. That's Bucad. He's got space on the left.
Great play call.
This time he's brought down by Nkosi Swain right at the 1 or 2
take
yard
nothing
line.
Away from Carter. That was a great play call, getting him on the edge. They're going to go up tempo again.
And they're going to give it to, this time Carter Bucad is met right at the line with 3 big linemen.
We have went to that really quickly after a good play, after a good run, and it has been snuffed every time. So stay outside the tackles, but you got to soften them up the middle. You got to keep it honest.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 5-yard line. Chance for Wasatch with an opportunity here. Bucad once again to the left. He's down to the goal line. 1 yard line still on his feet.
You are not going to keep him out.
Touchdown, Carter Bucad.
Outstanding. Way to come back on that and keep this thing a good contest. So let's go back to JoJo. I think I criticized him because he tried to catch a pass in his body, and it was tight coverage and it bounced out. JoJo will but he will make the hardest catch out there.
Yeah.
But again, maturity and physically he is still growing. But man, I was speechless. Like you see that on Sundays. And if anybody's seen the Minnesota-Nebraska game last night,
this time the snap good.
Yeah, snap good. Ashton in. Minnesota made a play in the end zone where that guy was stretched out and got a foot down. Very reminiscent of that, but JoJo's hands are amazing.
So, touchdown by Carter Bucad. Wow, right at the end.
Yeah.
He was, they were only at the 5-yard line, but it looked like he ran 20.
Right.
And for the last 5 or 7 yards, looked like he was carrying 3 Weaver linemen.
And again, success on the outside. Listen, I get why offense has got to run that dive play, run that up the middle.
Sure.
Because it softens those guys on the outside and they're successful out there. So coach he's got a method to why he's running it. But man, when you get Carter rolling and you get that passing game rolling, you get Mac, like you said, being patient, eyes downfield, JoJo catching the ball, him distributing around, and then you come back underneath with Carter. We're a good team.
I wondered there, Ken, if Wasatch might try a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and listen, we very well could. We're a score away, and like I said, when this thing opened up, we were 3 touchdowns down. But luckily it was early enough, and neither team grinds it out.
Right.
So we're gonna have a lot of scoring tonight.
Fisher Brown will kick off here. Still plenty of time here in this first half.
Two high-level quarterbacks tonight we're watching, guys. This is a great quarterback play.
And that kick will go into the end zone, almost to the goal post. And so Weber will take over at their own 20-yard line. 28-20. A shoot-'em-up fest here at Wasatch High School. Weber, 6A Weber Warriors visiting the Wasatch Wasps. We talked a little bit while we're getting ready for Weber. Weber, as we mentioned, 0-3, but boy, tough ones. They had that heartbreaker loss in overtime, Westlake, the first week of the season.
Yeah.
They lost to PG, as you mentioned earlier, 40-14. That's a really
and
good
PG's
Pleasant
a
Grove
good, yeah,
team.
they're good.
But then Roy handled Weber quite handily last week, 36-14.
Roy is an enigma. You never know what you're going to get. You know, they're either steamrolling people or losing by 40.
So you're looking at a couple of teams anxious and desperate for some wins.
I was just going to mention how we've kind of shut that run down, and I wonder what the rushing has been since those first couple of drives, and right up the middle again. That's where their success has been.
And we hadn't seen Swain for a little while, and that time looks like he ran. Looks like he got about 6 yards, 6 or 7 yards.
Yep.
So it'll be 2nd and 3, maybe 4 for Weber.
I think both offenses are pressing a little bit. They got to slow down, but they like to sling it when they need something. And that ball is wide open
over the head of Salesi Moa.
And that is, really passing wise, that's probably the only ball that
I was going to say that
young man is thrown over the top.
First time that I've really seen it not hit his target. You can tell he's upset about it himself.
And he throws a nice ball, but yeah.
Crew catch. Let me see if I can say it right.
Ketchikarne.
And once again, we mentioned Crew 285 passing yards before tonight and has only played in one game. So
showing blitz.
He did throw 3 touchdowns in the game against Roy. So it'll be 3rd and about 4. Oh, that's time wide open is Moa.
So it was a 6-man. It was a 6-man pressure. We brought both the linebackers along with their 4 down. So I would assume we go into man-to-man coverage. So I don't know. It looked like we were still playing cover 2.
Right.
So maybe a little bit of confusion there.
Maybe, yeah. So it'll be 1st and 10. Weber at their own 43-yard line.
This is where you get a stop. This is where you need a big stop, go into halftime, or get the ball back.
And I was thinking that both teams desperate here in the last few minutes of this first half. And, it could really tell a lot either way. So it'll be 1st and 10. Ketchikarne back. And we apologize for any Weber Warriors families listening. We believe that's the name. We talked to a coach before, and that's kind of what he said. Oh, that's a big run by
Kid's a baller.
Wow,
he gets north and south.
That'll be a 17-yard gain by Salesi Moa. And again, Moa, we know, has over 100 yards rushing.
And I believe that was Swain.
Oh,
that was
Swain?
Number 3.
Okay.
That was Swain.
Thank you. You're right. You're right.
But they all run very similar. They get north and south really quick.
Moa seems to be more of the receiver.
Yeah, he is.
Gotcha.
He is.
So another first down. Weber, both teams just right now chalking up big offensive numbers.
And again, right there in that interior, I don't know if we blitzed.
This time, ball is given once again to Swain.
Well,
he just slithers his way
swift.
Passed around. And
he's shifty.
Strong and quick. Swain's going to gain about, looks like they're going to give him about 7 or 8 yards.
A couple different ways to block that.
7 yards.
You can man-to-man block that, or you can zone block it. It looked like a little bit of a zone block.
Well, and it looks like they've got him covered on the end, and then he just takes 2 steps and he's out so far.
Yeah, he gets to pick he gets to pick the lane that he wants to run in, and Weaver's doing a good job of getting a hat on somebody.
2 minutes and 30 seconds
and
left
come
here
back and go empty on second
in the first half. Ketchikarne all by himself. Here comes a big rush. Crossfield, that ball is complete. Crossfield, that is to Ian Elmore.
And that's hurt us, right? That middle of the field play has hurt us all night long. I'd like to see instead of bringing pressure on an empty set when everybody's out in a route, I'd like to see that linebacker drop in the middle.
Looks like another first down. It'll be at the Wasatch 29-yard line. 2 minutes even left here in the first half.
I get why you want to put pressure on him, but
Swain in the backfield with Kachakarne. Given to Swain once again, another hole, and he's got another 7 or 8, 9 yards.
Same hole, same side too. They're just gouging us on the right side of the line.
And boy, Swain just slashes quickly and finds that spot. So it'll be a 9-yard run. So it'll be 2nd and 1 for Weber.
Robbie Whalen
at the Wasatch 20-yard line.
Robbie Whalen and Connor Cox our defensive tackles right there. They have got a lot of work tonight.
Wasatch in the trenches here into the red zone. The only times it's really been around the 20-yard line has been the last couple of plays. That ball is snapped and touched on the ground. Boy, somebody went flying. That's going to be a
nice job.
A sack. And I'm trying to see the number. I believe that's like number 10, Jed Kelly. But you thought it might have been.
It's 19.
19, okay.
Parker Turner. And Parker came in. One of the things you don't want to play cat and mouse with him and extend that play out. There's got to be a quarterback pull up. And
boy, a big play. Now it's 3rd and 10 instead of 2nd and 1. And Weber now a little on their heels. Kachakarne back there.
Middle of the field.
Lots of time. Oh, he's got a little pressure coming. He's pushing to the right. And the catch is made that time by Moa. But, boy, that won't be a first down. So it'll be 4th.
And I'm a little perplexed.
Moa looked like he could have gone a couple yards to get the first down. But
Miguel Armadera's number 88 is our corner on the bottom. I believe he's a sophomore. And I'm not sure what he was. Just kind of lost him, which is easy to do. But that kid, Kachakarne, keeps his feet, keeps his head up, much like Mac.
Swain and Moa both off right now. It is 4th down. This is a huge play for both teams. Kachakarne has pressure. He's going to throw toward the end zone. It is incomplete.
Nice job.
And broken up, I want to say once again, by Will Wright.
Hey, give a little credit, Kachakarne, stepping outside of that. He had one of our D linemen had a bead on him, and he just stepped to the side and delivered a very nice ball. Great coverage.
Wow.
I believe Will Wright was on that. That's a couple times we called Will on some good coverage.
Yeah. So that is a huge turnover.
So they've run that play a couple times, Brent, where they've come up in a heavy set where everybody's tight, nobody's spread out. He goes under center. This time he fakes it to a fullback for a dive and then goes to pass it and turns the ball over.
So Wasatch will take over. I don't imagine they're going to be trying anything fancy. 11 seconds left deep in their own territory, and I would imagine either giving it to Bukad and Kelson's going to just take a couple steps and let the clock run out.
Good job.
What a first half.
Good job.
Here in Heber City. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. The Weber Warriors with a 21-0 lead halfway through the first quarter. And since then, they did score another touchdown, but Wasatch coming back, turning on the defense, and find themselves down at half, 28-20. So, even though it seems like some victories, Coach Coburn and the staff are going to be making some changes. And what we will do is we will talk about that here on this broadcast in just a little bit. We're going to maybe while the teams are coming off, and we'll make sure that everyone gets a chance to watch the halftime activities and stuff. We'll talk. Maybe Ken, let's do a quick review.
Hey, behind the 8 ball is
it's a good way to say it.
Yeah. Come out. They punched us in the mouth, and like I said, plenty of time for us. Neither one of these guys have grinded the ball down, so they like to put it up in the air. And JoJo Heyer, more than 2 catches, but 2 touchdown catches where he it has been all him. We call it a 50-50 ball. You just
Hmm.
throw it up. You either get it, you don't. Play the next play. Go on to the next down.
And you say that it is right. He actually comes back a little bit while the defender can't look too much. And okay,
and and really kind of by design, and that's on Mac. Got to have a good quarterback to kind of put that on a back shoulder where he can turn around and get separation. I thought on the first touchdown they were a little pushing on both the time. It could have went either way,
right?
But hey, ref did a good job and let it just play out. And JoJo made a good catch and went from there. But great game.
Yeah. What a fun night, high school football here in Heber City. We thank you for joining us on Stink TV. Once again, we're going to let you watch. Yeah, this is a big group out there, so we're going to let you watch here halftime. Weber Warriors with a 28-20 lead over Wasatch Wasps. Thanks for joining us here on Stink TV.
So he sent me stats.
I don't know. Do we want them to be able to hear?
Hey, Dwayne, we need to get you on here. Oh,
I mean.
from here. So.
There we go. It's not that I'm concerned. I just want to make sure you saw it. Like I said, that's down there.
Let's hear it for your Wasatch marching band. Playing their state piece as they practice for state. Excellent job.
Well, lining it up for the second half, and if it's anything like the first half, we will be on the edge of our seats.
And welcome back here, Sting TV.
Boy, if that's
Wasatch High School.
Is that an offsides, or are we just going to run it back? Highly. No, that's offsides on us.
What is this?
That's illegal motion, isn't it? Maybe
That's
got
what
to
the
mix
guy
up.
just did. I didn't know you could do it in illegal motion.
Well, you know what? I wonder if only the kicker can move, and maybe somebody else was moving her. No, we can move. We're defense.
Yeah, it would seem like something. It
Guys,
seems like offsides is the only.
You think I coached this game long enough? I would know the complexities of the kickoff. And I haven't seen a call on this for a long time. So somebody's got a new job, needed to try out. Just saw it in the code book.
Well, whatever it is, it was a 5-yard penalty against Wasatch on the kickoff. So they move it back 5 yards. The last kick actually went into the end zone. So we'll see here.
You assume this to be returnable,
This kick's going to go back out of the backside of the
Mr. Brown
end zone.
Mr. Brown has got a leg, and there are very few that are returnable. And I think he just probably sparked a nerve there, so he put it in the parking lot. Well,
so thanks for joining us here on Sting TV. This is, I guess we've always used different phrases, but barn burner is pretty good. I mean, 48 points scored in the first half. And, Ken, I'm looking all over the state, and there's been a lot of big points in the first half all over the state. So we're going to be able to get to you some high school scores, but Weber High School, the Warriors will take over. Crew Cachicarne is going to throw over. That time is complete to Tyler Payne. Looks like they'll get maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Tyler Payne, Mitch Payne's son, BYU. I mentioned that earlier. He is he's one of their better players. And again, it's like I said early in the half, Brent. Those are wins for us if we can keep those passes out on the side.
Right.
We can bleed those out. The pass that we don't want is in the middle.
The one to look for, Celeste Moa. This time the run will be. Wasatch stops that one right in there. That's Nkosi Swain. He's going to get maybe to the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're going to just place it as a no gain.
And he's done such a good job, cutting that outside. But had he stayed on an inside track, Brent, that was wide open again. We've talked about it before. You linebackers get caught up in the wash, up in that line, and that running back will scrape off of him and find a hole. We need to be a little bit slower to the
third and 7. 3rd and 7, maybe 6.5. Right here in the first possession of the second half. Passes up, and it is complete.
And that has been there all night long.
Leslie Moa.
It's a timing route. Timing route. Again, we're playing a cover 2, and that's where he's basically just sitting where it's soft, but that ball was let go before he turned around, so it's a timing route.
Crew Cachicarne with a bullet lasered that through a couple of defenders, and Moa has been very, very dependable.
He's talented.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. This is Swain. Swain, like you said, just not finding the openings that he did earlier, but he still is able to grind, a couple of yards. So
they had a little, after the first few drives, obviously, we slowed them down. They had a little more success right at the end of the half. And so I like what we're doing right here. I still do not like us giving up passes in the seam. And that's the weakness of the cover 2.
It'll be 2nd and 8. Cachicarne back.
Twin stack formation.
Nicola Swain. And he is met.
That's a nice job.
Handoff did not go to Swain, and boy, that was a mistake. He was met by a wall of Wasatch.
That was a new quarterback in there, too. That was number 12.
Oh, that was
for a play.
Hamblin. Okay, Hamblin.
And Hamlin's a runner. So he's probably their second leading rusher up at that time.
And receiver. He's been able to do it all. So,
he's an athlete.
And he played quarterback the games, 2 games. So
maybe a little
there was
design,
a gain.
Quarterback keep.
There was a gain of about 4, so it'll be third. This is the second third down opportunity here for Wasatch to get a stop.
We got to
lots and lots of
nobody.
time. There's a big throw down. Defender, and it is caught. Unbelievable. Big catch by Moa.
That is going to drive Steve Coburn crazy. We always want to cap the route, stay on top of that, and it's been a common theme.
Acrobatic catch.
We cannot let guys behind us that way.
Well, and it looked like it was going to be defended by 2 guys,
right.
And yet it went beyond, and Moa was the only one to see that it went that far.
The term is you just throw him open. So he's throwing the ball, and he's just throwing him open. He's going to throw to an open spot, and receiver's athletic enough to go get it. Catches it, basket catch in his hands.
Wow. Third down opportunities, both third down. And
there we go.
That
that's a
kick
win.
is going to be no good on the extra point.
Boy, that breaks your back. A good defensive stand too. But
yeah, 2 third down opportunities for Wasatch and converted by Weber.
And our vantage point, it's hard to see. And as fast as these guys are going, it's kind of hard to see what's going on in the back end and the front end. So I don't know if there's a blitz on. I don't think there was. So we were in a zone coverage, and why we're not over the top of those routes. They do a good job. They do a good job holding us up with a run fake, and one's got a great arm. So again, he just threw him open. He threw it where we weren't, and Moa went and got it, and another 6 on the board. I'm frustrated.
We were doing what they did in the first half, scoring in the first few minutes of the game. By this point, however, in the first quarter, they had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So 34-20, it's a 2-touchdown lead. The missed kick by Weber evens out now. The missed extra point by Wasatch. So now.
I'm gonna still stick with the silver lining in it is they scored quick. There's a lot of time. We have an offense that can move the ball well.
And here's the same little short kick by Weber, hoping for a fumble, and it is picked up by Wasatch. They're going to be able to advance up to about their own 20, what I'm going to say is a 27-yard line. So Wasatch will take over. Down 2 touchdowns, 8:43 left in the third quarter. And this type of uphill constant battle has been the whole game for Wasatch.
Lining up in empty right off the bat. So we're going to sling it, or it's a designed run for the quarterback.
Matt Kelson back alone. He's going to get pressure. He's going to be met and brought down. If he could have just had an open. And he's just out of bounds. He almost got loose there. So it's going to be considered a sack, and he's way back. That's going to be a loss of what looks like.
It looked like one of the coaches was kind of indicating somebody was open there, but that pocket collapsed
very quickly. Yeah.
And Line's done a good job. They've done a commendable job right now. Those splits are super wide.
That's a loss of 11 yards. So it'll be second, maybe just 10 yards, maybe 9. So second and almost 20 here for Wasatch on their first possession of the second half. Kelson this time with lots of time.
Nice job.
And that is caught midfield. And I'm guessing that's JoJo Hire.
Yeah, it's JoJo. And he catches it, there's times you catch it in your body, Brent. Don't get me wrong. But a bigger receiver seems to have a little more success. That JoJo's so small, but Mac puts it, he just kind of stuck it in there. You don't have a choice but to catch it.
That was a big gain. It's now 3rd and 6, and that is complete.
And it comes back with a catch like that. I mean, this kid is just.
JoJo Hire is lit up right now. That's a first down. So Wasatch facing 2nd and 20.
So now we're quads.
Get their first down.
A four-man look here to the bottom. Nice screen play.
Carter Bucad, he's going to get loose from 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3. He's still on his feet all the way into Weber territory.
Dude, that was a great design play. So usually what you get out of the quads is you're trying to isolate the backside. Where JoJo, he just went there twice, came back to that four receiver side and threw a nice screen.
Kelson this time keeps it. He's going to go cross field, and it is deflected. Boy, close to being an interception on the deflection.
Great coverage.
Covers that time by Weber's Jackson Jacobs.
And that was Hutch Solomon. Hutch has got to get some separation. It's a receiver's job to kind of Mac's trying to stick it in there, but Hutch has got to get that guy on his hip.
So it'll be now 2nd and 10 for Wasatch. The incompletion slows the offense down just a little bit. Oh, boy, bad snap. Kelson's got it. He's got a crossover. He's got a man open, and it is caught. JoJo Heyer once again, shoestring catch.
You got to have a big league arm to throw that ball. That's a nice ball. Yeah, and that's not his first read.
Boy, that snap was on the ground. Kelson had to go 2 steps to grab the ball, and he still was able to get the pass off. So that's another first down for Wasatch. Time, the pocket is closing. Here comes Kelson. He's got a chance to throw.
Nice job, Mac.
He does a spin. He's in midfield. He's at the 10, and he's finally going to be brought down. Looks like clear back to the 15.
I don't like that hit.
And, boy, kind of tough. That looked like Kelson pops right up.
He did.
So it looks like the forward motion is going to put it all the way to the Weber 12-yard line.
And I stand corrected to the offense. I was not loving that empty set, all receivers out there, but it seemed to work for them. They had a plan coming out of halftime.
Great scramble by Kelson. Kelson's going to look left. He's got, once again, the line. Weber collapsed on him. Boy, Weber really does a quick job of getting to him. But, boy, when they get a hold of him, they throw him down hard.
They do. Well, I think and I think you got to mix a run in there, but they've been successful. Who am I to say that wasn't the right call? But Mac's a little bunged up there.
Yeah, he got bumped a little bit, up a little slow. So everybody keeping an eye on Mac. Mac getting the call, taking a few seconds here.
I like the momentum. And again, Brent, I think you mentioned earlier, we may be in a position where we need to get a 2-point conversion here to keep this a 1-score game.
Well, but we were missed there.
Okay,
so here's Carter Boucard is going to be back, and that is going to be too much time. So
what you want to do with that? So it's a wildcat formation. Wow. Carter jumps in. He can throw the ball too, and I talked with some of the coaches about that as well as Carter played last week, and we know he threw the ball well too in Madison. He can throw the ball. I think they're gonna keep the box loaded up and assume that Carter's going to keep it and run it, and that's when you can zing it out there. And Mac's a good athlete.
You go with a Wasatch team that's always speeding to their plays. This time they get called for a delay of game.
Yeah, that's funny.
So Kelson now back. It is 2nd and long. There's a pass cross court. It is caught.
Wow.
And that is touchdown, Wasatch.
Once again, Brent, if any lesser arm, you're hanging that up, it's picked. He is just sticking that in there. He put that on his back shoulder and just stuck it in there.
And that is Hutch Solomon once again.
Great route.
I want to say that's his 2nd touchdown of the night. If I could be wrong on that, actually.
Well, again, and I believe these two are sophomores. Maybe one's a junior, but those 2 young men, Hutch and Mason, have really been. They're good outlet targets. Matt keeps his. Obviously we isolate JoJo quite a bit and Carter.
Yeah.
But they're very complimentary and having a lot of success.
Hutch Solomon listed as a sophomore, 5'10". And there is some discussion. We're trying to see here, was there a penalty? There was some type of.
It's kind of been that way all night, Brent.
There's
been these questions, and for the most part, they'll pick the flag up. So I can't fault them.
They're calling something on Wasatch, and I think once again it's going to be issued at the kickoff.
Yeah.
But I still didn't see what the penalty call was. Trying to hear the announcer maybe.
We'll have to dig in the rule book and find out why that's not assessed on the extra point. Ashton Southam for extra point.
So Wasatch helps get a little closer. It's 26-34.
Put us in 7 at the
extra point here will keep the lead to 7.
And that might come back to bite them. You know, I said earlier that we might get the 2-point conversion. I forgot we blocked the kick earlier.
Yeah.
So those special teams add up.
So here we go, extra point. Southam out there. Southam, a family of royalty of kicking.
Yeah.
Here at Wasatch and Division One.
And I think he's got a Division One leg too.
And that kick is up. Boy, the defense line for Weber got in there kind of quickly. It looked like they were hoping for the block. And so it's a 1 touchdown game. 34-27, the lead for Weber. 5:19 left here in the third quarter.
I love the answer. We come right back, drive the length of the field. I was a little critical of the empty formation out down, but offensive coaches had a game plan coming out, and they executed.
So while we're in between here, it looks like there will be some type of penalty assessed to Wasatch on the kickoff, which is, as you mentioned, the second time tonight. While we're doing that, we want to be able to mention to you any of the viewers that might be businesses that would be interested in sponsoring Sting TV, not just for the football season. There's still several home games coming up, but for many sports, basketball, boys and girls basketball, soccer, volleyball, baseball, we have lots of opportunities for your business if you're interested in having what potentially is 1,000 viewers each night or more from all over and different ages. Please contact Sting TV.
We pretty regularly do more viewers than that. Hey, I forgot to mention we finally got some halftime stats and they sent them to me, so I'm going to be in trouble. Rushing yards in the first half: 46 for Wasatch, 206 for Weber. You probably knew that. Passing 168 Wasatch, 189 Weber.
Wow.
At the end of the first half, it was 20-28. Total yardage.
Wow. An opportunity there for Weber.
Total yardage on the first half, Brent, was 224 for Wasatch, 390 for Weber, which, and we kept it close too. So
yeah. And you got to say offensively for Weber, those rushing yards, many of them, Nkosi Swain.
And at the first of the game, until we locked that up. You're mentioning third down conversions. Wasatch was 2 for 5, Weber 3 for 7.
See, I would have thought more for Weber. So.
But they did go through. They go double the times Wasatch did. They went for third down.
This is Dyson Parker.
This kid runs
Parker
hard.
Is going to get about 13, 14 yards before he's finally brought down.
And those are arm tackles, and we got to get our head in front of the ball and drive.
If you had missed it, the kickoff just a moment ago, it was a 15-yard penalty assessed to Wasatch, and that put them clear back at the 25-yard line. The kick this time was actually caught right around the Weber 15-yard line, but Hamblin had space and actually slipped and fell, so it was a little bit of a break for Wasatch. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the Weber 41. The pass is up, and it is complete, wide open, and boy, this is a big run this time. Weber, only one guy to stop him, and he does bring down.
I think that was JoJo brought him down.
And that's number 88, Tyson Higgs, I believe, for Weber. That made the catch and ran all the way down to the 5-yard line of Wasatch.
Coverage for us was Miguel Armaderas. He's a sophomore, young kid. But they've kind of done that all night. They've stepped back to that pass, juked that first tackle. And that's a big one. That open field tackle, one-on-one.
It just seems like Weber has had so many big plays. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors. That ball is given once again to Parker. Parker is brought down. Looks like he might have gotten a yard. Maybe not.
Trying to wonder why Cole Kelson. He's a safety on the bottom of your screen. He just kind of left coverage and read run, he pulls that guy's wide open if they see it. So no linebacker play on the outside. That's JoJo. He's a safety right there. He's gonna have to help with your best player right there.
Passes up to the corner, and it is knocked down, almost intercepted. Boy, an opportunity
Great
missed
play.
there. That is the coverage. Looks like 28.
Dalton Hill.
Dalton Hill.
Junior.
Boy. Pass broken up, but boy, it looked like had it. He was a little disappointed that he didn't have that interception. So.
And a little arrogant on that one. You just kind of threw it up, wanting Moa to do their thing, and Dalton had a chance to step in front of that and take it down the sidelines.
And again, Kachakarne, boy, he's been spot on all night, but that one again just a little short. So it'll be 3rd and goal at about the 6-yard line. And a little pressure here now for Weber. Kachakarne is going to be pat, and that is a completion at the timeline. It's touchdown, Weber. And it looks like I'm going to say that receiver. I'm trying to see the number. I think it's number 4, so that'll be Ian Elmore. And my understanding is that'll be at least the 4th player to score a touchdown for Weber tonight.
He spreads the ball around, a little quarter roll to the wide side of the field. And usually what you run is like levels. So you have 3 receivers, short, middle, deep.
Kick is up, and this time good. So once again, the big play is the story for the Weber Warriors. And the big play coming again on a 3rd down conversion, and Wasatch unable to stop the big play. Yeah. So it converts to a score, and it's a 2-touchdown lead once again for Weber.
3:41 left in the 3rd quarter, and we've got 3 touchdowns on the board. So we can answer, which we have, and we do really quickly. So, but what you don't want is you don't want this defense to get down. I saw some heads down a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially from, Garrett Christensen's a workhorse over there. And you got to assume, and I have to look at film, but you got to assume they're double teaming Garrett on every play.
Yeah.
And they're rolling right to his side. And it looks like Colton Brisk is maybe on an auto blitz when he sees that, and he was trying to chase Concarney down from the backside, and it wasn't happening. Kachakarne, man, I
know. I hope we're saying it right.
Yeah.
We really hope for the sake. So this is the 7th touchdown and the 8th kickoff for Weber, and this time it's up in the air, and it is caught.
We adjusted a little bit to get a.
And it will be returned, and Wasatch will bring it down to about the 29 to 30-yard line of Weber. Looking at some scores across the state, Ken, a really fun battle. Woods Cross and Bonneville duking it out, 28-27, Woods Cross 3rd quarter. The one that I saw earlier, we were talking about Roy. Roy is absolutely taking it to Clearfield. 56 to nothing in the 3rd quarter.
I have a friend with little Clearfield ties. He sent me that score.
Pass is incomplete by Kelson. And so it'll be 2nd and 10. This is a stage of the game, end of the 3rd quarter, when you can start to see fatigue from both teams, for sure. But I would have to say the Wasatch defense has been on the field the most.
Yeah, they're hanging their hats a little bit. Mac getting flushed out of the pocket, a little bit of happy feet, getting rid of it. What I don't want to see is a mistake and giving the ball back on a short field.
Trying to try a little too hard. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Kelson back alone. He's got a little bit of time. He's looking. He throws it up, and it is incomplete, but it is intercepted. That is Weber's Ian Elmore still on his feet. He's at the 10-yard line and finally brought down. Devastation for Wasatch.
So right through JoJo's hands.
And a big, big opportunity for Weber to put a stamp on this game.
So the young man who just caught the touchdown for him just comes up with a big interception.
Unbelievable. Big, big play.
Yeah, very athletic play.
So Weber with the interception, and now fantastic field position They're going to be at the Wasatch, it looks like the 9-yard line. Wasatch defense back on the field.
Yeah, back on the field.
And looking to make a big stand here. 3:12 left in the third quarter. I think the other team that's tired is the Weber offense. There's the pass, and that's going to be a handoff once again to Dyson Parker. Touchdown, Warriors.
We're just getting really we're getting owned at the line of scrimmage.
So with 3:07 left in the third quarter, another touchdown for Weber, and we'll make this score 47-27.
Yeah.
The extra point will make a 3-touchdown lead, and this game was just separated by 8 just a few moments ago. Kick is good, and it is 48-27 Weber. So I got to say, this is a little bit of a trend of each of the games that Wasatch has lost. Now, it's not over. There's still a quarter left.
Sure.
However, what we've noticed, the Park City game was close in the middle of the third quarter, and the Skyview game was almost tied in the middle of the third quarter. And this game was exactly the same.
Right.
Middle of the third quarter, they are close. And, boy, just like that, it has changed so quickly. Credit the Weber team has kind of taken care of business in the areas they needed to.
Really has. You know, and again, offensive line has won more battles tonight than they've lost, but you know, a little bit of pressure on Mac. He gets going a little fast, and to his credit too, he delivered that ball right to JoJo. Went through his hands
just a little bit. There was a lot of coverage and a lot of confusion.
We just mentioned that we didn't want to give him a short field, and exactly what we just did. So we'll see what we come back with. You're getting to the time where maybe that last drive you had some time to run the ball a little bit. Keep your defense off, grind it out, and but I also know on the other hand that offense wants to score, and now they really need to score. So I can assume they're going to be in the same situation where they're going to spread it out and pass again.
Same type of little kickoff here. This time it's the player on the far side.
We got to come up and get that. Oh, that's got a penalty in our.
So Wasatch will get some extra yardage on the kickoff that went out of bounds. So
Cash Coombs was a smart play from Cash right there, just letting it go out of bounds.
Just to let it go, yeah.
Yep.
While Wasatch coming out, look at this score in the state. Provo 35-0 over Salem Hills. Payson, Payson? Payson 20-0 over Mountain View. Spanish Fork taking it to Uinta 28-7. So here we go. Wasatch, it's completion to Carter Bacot. He's got it down. He's brought down. It's going to gain about 4 yards. We'll call it 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Nice play call, and that's who I would go to right now. Carter's not touched the ball a lot tonight.
Here in the second half.
But sure, tacklers. Number 9 is a good linebacker. Yeah, they're not missing tackles, Brent. We're missing tackles, and that's again.
Well, it looked like
that was a blitz
snap. Yeah, just a little bit of a problem there with the snap again.
And he came late. He wasn't crowding the line of scrimmage. He came from depth, that linebacker, and just blew that play up. And we've seen that a couple times, Brent, where as soon as they're handing the ball off to him. So now we got the middle of the field open.
That's going to be a loss of yard. It's 3rd and 7. Kelson finds an open man at first down. Once again, higher. He's still on his feet. And now at the 47-yard line, gets all the way down. I think they're going to give it to him at the 46.
So, Brent, we've been really successful. It seems like they're playing in a zone as well, and we're just finding it. So if Mac stays in the pocket, he's had a little more success doing that. I'm not saying he can't throw on the run. Stay in the pocket, find
Kelson's
somebody.
Going to go for the home run ball. He's got Carter Bacot a little open, but it'll be over his head.
Mac just smacked himself. He's taken that on himself. And he overthrew him a little bit. I think he was a little anxious, but I think he expected Carter to keep running.
Gotcha. So the incomplete pass will stop the clock, and it'll be 2nd and 10, 1:56 left in the third quarter. And on these opportunities, Wasatch just really looks different when they take a few seconds. You're not used to it. The clock down to 7 seconds. And Kelson back once again low. He's going to kick out of the pocket, makes a move here and there, avoids another tackle. This time he's brought down, though, right down at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So it'll be 3rd down. It looks like they are going to give him a little forward motion, actually. Boy, that was gracious.
Pressure off the right side, just came right around him. When he's got time, and we are in this empty set, so here you got this quads, 4 guys on one side. Last time we saw a screen to Carter. Maybe we're going to come back to the backside, but they got a safety over top.
Kelson, boy, he almost got ambushed.
Great ball.
This man is just over the reach.
Wide.
Just over the reach once again of Carter Bacad.
Yeah, Mac
got hit right there.
He took a shot right there.
Well, he barely got it off.
So what that looked like? That looked like a little bit of a.
I want to say it was Austin Gussie that was coming around for the Warriors.
Carter was lined up in that quads, and instead of the
Carter Bacad just looks gassed right now.
Instead of the screen, Carter ran a wheel route, so he went out and around up the sidelines, hoping they get a mismatch.
Wasatch going for it here on 4th down, 4th and 8. Kelson's going to find cross field and incomplete, and that's going to be 84. It looks
Mason
like
Gomez.
Mason Gomez.
And Mason wasn't even ready for it. He didn't even look at it.
Yeah, it looked like he was not. So that'll be a change of possession and downs. And Weber will take over once again with great field percentage, field position.
Those crossing routes, we've had some success, obviously, there. We've got a couple of touchdowns that both Mason and Hutch have taken those crossing routes where they're coming all the way across the field, and Mac's waiting for them to pop open behind a linebacker, and he's putting it in there. And we've scored on that, but just wasn't ready for it.
Weber will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Cover
looks
one.
Like 44-yard line.
Pressure.
And, boy, not slowing down a bit is Ketchakarni. And they do another big play. Once again, that's a 40-yard gain.
Will had great position, and he just let up at the very end. But he did. He was right in his pocket. I'd like him to be over the top of him.
So the chains will move. Clock continues.
Darn it.
Under 1 minute here in the 3rd quarter, and Weber once again knocking big at the door. At the Wasatch 21-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Wasatch desperately needing some energy here. There's a run to the side. That's going to be,
boy, this kid can cut
once
on a
again,
dime.
Swain. But there was a flag. It's a possibility of a hold or
coming back.
Yeah, it looks like holding on Weber.
Boy, he cuts low to the ground. And that, again, they're having success on the outside edge.
Holding against Weber, so a bit of a breather for Wasatch. The ball's going to come back, 10 yards typically? So it'll be 2nd down. No, that'll repeat 1st down, right? So 1st and about 16 for Weber. This might possibly be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Ketchakarni back. He's going to hand it off once again to Swain. This time he's got more room. And Swain's still on his feet. Finally, the whistle blows. And that quite possibly will be the end of the 3rd quarter.
I was looking at the back end, Brent, but it's to that point, Weaver just had more hats on the left side than our right side. And that's what's winning it right now at the line of scrimmage. They either got more people to the left side, or they're pulling 2 people to give them the advantage. But either way, they're blocking it really well and getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop. And you can't win back the momentum back because they're going to keep the ball and keep the clock rolling.
So at the end of the 3rd quarter, as we start up the 4th. Big opportunity here for Weber to clamp this game down. Wasatch, on the other hand, a quarter Ken, as you know tonight, a lot can happen in a quarter.
Yeah.
So Wasatch looking for a little magic, get a second breather,
Yeah.
and do that. While they're doing that, we'll talk a little bit. We know that this, of course, no region games, but beginning next week will be the first region matchup. Wasatch will be taking on
Orem.
Orem in the first, as we mentioned, region play. So
at Orem, the last 10 years, these guys have notched 4 or 5 state championships, had a great run, still very well coached.
yeah,
Beat East High first game, lost American Fork by 4, lost the Spanish Fork, which I didn't see coming, 44-38, and then they're
Spanish
tied.
Fork looks strong this
They're
year.
tied with West Jordan right now, so not the Orem of old, but
still strong.
Yeah, yep, still a high caliber team.
The next home game for Wasatch will be 2 weeks from tonight on September 15th, Friday night, when Maple Mountain comes to town. That's homecoming week. Here's the handoff to Swain once again. He has got wide open range on the right side. Touchdown. Once again, Nkosi Swain. That's 3 touchdowns for Swain tonight.
Yep, and again, missed tackle on the outside. We've got him, and he cuts outside. And they are, there's a time where you're kind of making your own offense. Like you're taking what's given to you, and they've had a lot of success off that right side. No matter who they've had over there.
So the big score for Weber, the kick is up and good. And they are in the 50s territory, 55-27. Ken, just minutes ago, like we said, it was an 8-point game, or it was a 1-touchdown game. And 55-27. The Wasatch.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned it earlier too, Brent. We're a little dejected out there. I mean, you can feel it on the sidelines. You feel it over here on the stands.
The crowd a little bit.
And to be a touchdown down,
right?
After they came out in the second half and went and just marched down the field and scored, we answer. Things looking good.
Yeah. So most definitely.
A little bit like the old basketball analogy of the 3-point play. You live or die by the 3-pointer, right?
Right.
So you structure your offense around that, and we're right now we're kind of in that 3-point offense where we're spreading it out. We're trying to get Carter the ball. We throw a zone play to him in the quads formation, then we come back and I mean it's a great concept. You run a wheel route on the outside, trying to get a one-on-one matchup because Carter just doesn't have enough gas.
So Weber in their kickoff formation, 9th time tonight they're kicking off, and you don't know if it's going to be the right side or the left. There's a kick. It's going to be about to the 10-yard line, and it's taken there. I want to say that's
Coombs.
Coombs gets a pretty
good run. Cash Coombs.
And that's exactly what you need, right, Ken? Just a little energy.
I was going to mention the last time, I don't know what got away from us, but last year we had JoJo returning balls, and it seemed like we always had very good field position right there.
I think I think JoJo's back there, but I don't know if they even have him back anymore because Scheme just kept kicking away from him.
Yeah, they're kicking away from him. And why would you not?
Wasatch with a big mountain to climb here.
Great
First and 10 at their own 30, looks like the 37-yard line.
We'll take any win we can get. We got great field position. Just be methodical and go down there. And
Kelson's going to get that pass and no good to Hire. Just a little beyond his reach.
We're kind of in this booth here, but I'm getting a big wind to my face right there, and that was behind the ball that Mac just let go. I wonder if that got a little bit of wind. JoJo was a little late out of the break. I think he went a little bit deep before he cut outside. It's a timing route.
2nd and 10. Wasatch desperately needing at least a score here.
Boy, I'd like to see us exploit this.
To somehow change the momentum of this game.
We've got a one high safety look.
I'm not sure if that's going to be some type of procedure call or motion call, or yeah, it's going to be against Wasatch.
I'd like to see us hit some stuff in the seam. They've got a one high safety look, and that safety's kind of hugging the short side of the field. So if we could bend one, we could stay on this our right hash, and if we could hold that safety in the middle just for a second. Now they're going to cover. They're going to come up and play cover 1.
5-yard penalty
Means a
brings
blitz
Wasatch
is coming.
back 2nd and 15.
They're coming.
Here comes the blitz, and boy, Kelson did not have time. Boy,
Yeah.
he had a man open though, and there's going to be some type of flag once again.
So when you look up and you don't have any safeties back there, that means everybody's matched up into we cover 0, and 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10 you're sending pressure. So linebacker came, and that's got to be quicker. We've got to hit that. We got to hit that vacated area much quicker.
I think it was some type of personal foul against Weber. Boy, I got to tell you, Ken, that's not the thing you want right now. I mean, I know Weber's rolling, but
and we saw that a lot in the first half, Brent. There were always a little extracurricular from the Weber team.
Yeah.
But they've been pretty disciplined as of late, and as they should be. I mean,
so 1st and 10 with the penalty.
Safety.
Kelson back. He's going to scramble to his right. He's looking downfield. He's going to keep it. He's got to have a first down. He's all the way to the 45, 35-yard line of Weber, and that's going to be a 17-yard run for Kelson and another first down.
That's a little nuance that we don't go to a whole lot.
Something looks like, again, is a miss. I don't see a flag on the field, but that ball is being brought back. That's a holding.
Line coach has got to. Coach Bringhurst is mad, so I'm assuming it's on one of his guys.
Holding against Wasatch. So instead of a 17-yard run,
holy smokes,
ball is going to be brought back clear to the Wasatch. Holy smokes, that is a 40-yard turnaround.
I don't know how much we show the scoreboard. 55-27, 11:26 left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, a lot of time, and man, we score in bunches. Don't get me wrong, but that'll just break your back.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. That's a 30. I said 40. It's a 35-yard turnaround there.
So now they're in the too high safety look.
It is still first down. It'll be 1st and 20, maybe 19.
They're going to set back and catch.
Kelson again. This time he's going to be caught. He's going to maybe get to the line of scrimmage.
And really, that's
have a player down again for Wasatch, one of the linemen.
And really, that's the best play to do when you spread out like that.
I don't know. It's going to be Connor Cox, a junior. He's not looking very good.
And Connor's been banged up a couple times. That's not the first time he's been injured. I think he's playing injured.
Well, during this little timeout, we once again, next home game for Wasatch will be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, homecoming week. Next week, we'll begin the region play, as we mentioned, Orem. Looking at the schedule for Weber, Weber also will head home. They have another non-region game against Granger, and then their region will start after that. Region 1, 6A Region 1 is where Weber plays. So some of the teams that they play in their region will be Davis, Syracuse, Farmington, Fremont, and Layton.
Yeah, and that's a very competitive league up there for 6A.
Yeah.
You don't have the East and the Binghams that used to be in Region 1, but play good football up there. And Weber has been traditionally years past. Matt Hammer has done a really good job up there. Matt was we run a 7-on-7 every summer at Wasatch, and I've been fortunate to help with that. And Matt Hammer, he always brought down quality teams, very well coached teams.
Connor Cox will come off. He is walking on his own, but he is limping.
Yeah, Connor's
on his right leg. So Wasatch.
And Connor goes both ways. Big man's tired. And you're always a little bit more tired when you're losing.
Well, that's for sure.
We know that.
Pain hurts just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Wasatch will take over. It'll still be second, and I'm not sure. Looks like about 19 or 20.
So they're going to set back, and I mean,
That'll be 20.
I don't want to call it a prevent defense, but too high safety. They'll be in a zone. You see, we've got 3 guys out here. This line number 9 is going to bleed to the outside, cover the flats.
And there's a snap over the head, and that's going to be brought down. So it'll be another loss for Wasatch, and it'll now be 3rd down and 30.
Well,
and,
not the home opener we were hoping for. They have fought back. These kids are resilient.
You know, you talk about playing these bigger teams, the 6A teams and stuff, and boy, you learn. You hope you learn from these type of things,
and we will. You know, again, we want to stay healthy. You know, seeing Matt go down last week was not fun. But he's a healthy kid, and we got another bad
snap.
So apparently Connor is our center. I didn't know that. I don't know what's going on, or I don't know if he's got a nose tackle in his ear hole as soon as the.
So it'll be 4th down and 40 yards, 10, 20, no, 30 yards. Sorry.
Well, we better grab those guys and get them on the sidelines and get some snaps going.
And so Wasatch will punt. 10 minutes left here in the game. Wasatch down big. 27-55. 9:35 left in the game. Sorry.
And again, Brent, you mentioned it earlier. It's kind of playing out like this, like every game. So, you know, there's something we got to tweak.
Fair catch is called.
Smart play, Moa. He's electric too. Good kick.
Celesi Moa. He is listed as a sophomore. Wow. That's one thing about this Weber team is they've got some
they're young.
Good young talent.
Coach Springhurst has got his new center over there working with him, and you know, and that's how the game goes. You look for matchups, and your center goes out. You got to have somebody ready to step up. You know, a little bit like Whittingham said last night after their big win against Florida. Next man up. You know, they went in without rising their starting quarterback, and won with a 1A quarterback out of Milford, who did a fantastic job, by the way, which super proud.
Handoff is going to go to number 22, Jet Adams.
God, he runs
Haven't
hard.
seen him tonight.
And runs very similar. So they're coached very well, run very similar. But back to the Milford kid, this Bryson Barnes, I believe his name is. You know, if you're a high school football fan in Utah, you got to be kind of proud of that's a product of this state and smack dab in the middle of nowhere.
Well, and what a great story. I mean,
no doubt.
Smokes.
And he played great in both the bowl games. I'm not like this kid isn't capable. You know, they did sprinkle in a little bit of the Nate kid. I can't remember his last name who's absolutely athletic, but great win for Utah.
Ketchikarne will give it once again to Jet Adams. Jet Adams is going to get another couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and what looks like about 3rd and 3.
Where some of his older counterparts are hitting that hole. Looks like they're rolling in some kids that haven't seen some time, but some of the other running backs that we've seen tonight, Swain being one of them, they're getting to the outside hole and they're hitting it hard. Where Jet kind of looked at that, slowed down, and gave us enough time to close on the ball.
3rd and 3 for Weber. Backfield once again is Jet Adams with Ketchikarne. And Ketchikarne is going to be pursued so close. He gets the pass off. And there is a flag. They're going to call a pass interference, I believe.
What?
Pass interference against Wasatch? Not quite sure at this point.
Where's Coach Coburn? Coach Coburn's not losing his mind, so maybe it's against them.
The referee was talking to Coburn, and Coburn just nodded his head. So
they're facing them.
Yeah, they're going to count off against Weber.
So he pushed off. Coach Coburn's
I would think Coburn would want to go ahead and accept the penalty and not decline. It would make it third down again, but Coburn wanting an opportunity for his kids to do some learning here. So referee coming and talking to Coburn once again on the sideline and talking just a little bit about probably what happens if we decline or what happens if we accept.
Boy, there's a lot of discussion going down.
So that looks like it actually was a pass interference against Weber.
Yeah, must have been a push off right there.
Yeah.
Great job, Addie Holmes. So they moved Addie Holmes. Addie broke a finger, I believe. He had been playing receiver, but he started linebacker the Park City game, and they moved him to defensive end. So Addie's learning a new position, and he was on the chase right there, which forced that errant ball up for him just throw it to the sidelines.
It'll be third down and 20 for Weber. 7:46 left. Kachakarni's going to throw downfield, and that ball is almost caught still.
You know what? And you just run with them, and we call it in the pocket. So it looks like the corner just kind of stayed in his pocket. On the inside of it.
Who is that? That's number.
That's a new young man. Let me pull up. What's our
22?
It was 32, I believe. Caden Brown. Yeah, Cade Brown on the coverage there. So just fresh in the game, and they went right at him. So
it'll be fourth down for Weber. Oh, and there's a snap over the punter's head all the way back to the 7-yard line. He still gets the kickoff.
Yeah, he does.
But it goes out of bounds on the Weber side.
Well, how about Weber just seeing a new corner in there and just going right for the jugular, as they should.
Yeah.
And now we know why they quick kicked earlier with the quarterback.
So Wasatch will take over on the Weber 36-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, coach.
And I would think Coburn and the Wasatch team wanting to accomplish some things here.
Yeah.
Some type of, all right, you never know.
Well,
what
I think
type
number
of
one
miracles
is,
could happen.
I think you got to stay healthy. You don't want to keep playing, but you got to stay healthy.
Kelson throws across. It's complete across midfield. And still, look at the Weber players trying to bring him down.
You know,
that looked like, once again, Solomon.
So being a young receiver and at a quarterback and that by the name of Dave Norman that used to throw a rocket. And as a young guy, it's hard to catch. And so you saw Mason go up for that and basically just stick it in there. But good catch.
Kelson gives it to Carter Bacad. Carter Bacad's at the 5. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Wasatch. Yep. That's exactly what you want is a quick score, right, Ken?
For the most part, that's their starting D. I see a couple new numbers in there, but that linebacker and safety that's a starting D. But yeah, that's and you can second guess and say we should have run the ball more. I mean, they came right out in the second half and went to that empty formation, but I think Carter is better used in between the tackles and soften those guys up, bring those safeties in, and throw over the top of them.
Touchdown brings Wasatch to within almost 3 touchdowns. 33. Kick is up, and it is a 3-touchdown lead now for Weber. Ken, I've seen crazier things. I'm just telling you. 7 minutes, 4 seconds left. Now that is a very dominant Weber team right now, but
I want to dig deep.
A lot would have to change.
Wasatch lure, but my son was quarterbacked. His receiver was Kiefer Babbitt, set the state record for receptions in a game, and they came back and almost beat Judge Memorial to take a trip to Rice Eccles for the semifinals. Lost on a field goal, but that was a heck of a comeback back in the day. Which I need to get more details before I talk about it, but it can be done, and we got the dogs to do that. But little bit beat down, a little dejected right now,
a little injured, a little hurting, and
I'm watching the sidelines. But coaches are still coaching up. That's
absolutely.
a good thing.
What's the purpose? It's to get ready for region anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Looking at scores again around the state, Park City looks like they're going to go to 4-0.
Wow.
Big win. I mean, it's only the fourth quarter, but they're up 17-0 over Hillcrest.
How's Spanish Fork looking, Coach?
Spanish Fork is winning their game right now. I just saw their score. They're up over Uinta, 35-7.
You got to remember Spanish Fork, new coach up there, and he's done a fantastic job with them, by the way. And so they beat Orem. So you go back to the film,
Spanish Fork,
take a page out of that book, and we definitely have weapons that can do that.
Kickoff here by Wasatch. They're going to try to do the we thought
dribble
that for sure, and that looks like it is possible.
You know what, and Brent, I want to say
the onside kick.
I want to say we are about 98% on recovering that.
Wasatch recovers. So change in. Yeah, you're right, Ken. I think every game it seems like that happens.
They got film. They know it's coming.
And it seemed like Weber the whole night, every time there was a touchdown or kickoff, it looked like they were ready for it.
Yeah.
And so 7 minutes left. The last touchdown was scored by Wasatch in less than 2 minutes.
Yep, you're right.
So here you have to look at
let's
just
see if we
making it interesting.
Let's give you a little dose of Carter Bacad.
Carter Bacad with the kid. He's on the 40. He's down. That's going to be a 15, 18-yard run.
Great run
by Carter Bacad.
The reason why I say that, Brent, is because the box is not loaded. So that box right in front of the lineman right there, it looked like it had about 5 guys in it because they're more in coverage.
First down, snaps off. Kelson's going to have a wide open range. He's going to slide down that right about the 22-yard line.
Maturity. That's a great thing for him to do.
Exactly what he should have done. Yeah, there was a couple of guys waiting for him.
So now they're going to load the box up. This might be JoJo. So we got Moa on JoJo down here. So
Carter Bacad's going to go right again. His time he's met.
You look at the bottom of your screen. Our best receiver is now being guarded by their best player. I don't know that Moa's been corner the entire game, but number 8 Moa, their electric receiver is
great athlete.
is a corner down here on JoJo.
That'll be a first down for Wasatch. And just like that, in less than a minute, Wasatch is down to the field, down to the 21-yard line of Weber. Carter Bacad straight up the middle. He's going to go all the way to the 14. Looks like about the 14-yard line. That's about a gain of 5.
So they're going to load the box
maybe
up
6.
again. We got to figure out, does Mac do another keep? No. Yeah, they're
6 minutes left.
They're staying in the box. Little quick pass.
Kelson gets the snap. He's going to pass. He looks left, quick. And it looked like there was a juke where there was supposed to be a jive.
Yeah, so. You know what? I think you're right, Brandon. That could have been like a little pump and go. And I think JoJo thought Moa bit on the up route, and JoJo went to the end zone, and Mac was getting rid of it.
So it'll be 3rd down. They can get a first down. And there's an illegal procedure there. What just happened there?
So listen.
Yeah, I don't hear any whistles either. I'd keep running if I were him.
We've seen 9 come, and there's a lot of times that linebacker number 9 is not right up. He's not blitzing from the line of scrimmage, so he's coming from depth, and he doesn't mask it very well. So we need some kind of hot call where we're running JoJo right behind him when he comes.
So instead of 3rd and 3, it is now 3rd. And there's an offsides now by Weaver.
I think
Boy,
JoJo
teams
moved.
just. You think it might have been?
I think one of our
They're
guys
saying
moved.
offsides. Yeah, offsides Weaver.
Hey, we'll take it. I think JoJo thought it was on him. I thought it was on him.
Boy, and the referees immediately just said offside. So once again, back to 3rd and 3.
Heavy dose of Carter Bacad right here.
Wasatch has to convert here in
the
next 2 plays.
They're loading the box up
to keep this game alive.
Okay.
5:49 left.
Seam to Mason.
Carter Bacad will not get it. Passes up in the end zone. Touchdown. Wasatch.
Super. The definition of RPO. Held him. Mac has heard him running it. So you froze Moa, and JoJo slid in behind him.
JoJo Hire wide open in the right corner.
Really good play call.
And just like that.
Hey, we're down 15, Coach.
This game is a two-score
game.
Two-score game. Unbelievable. And still 5:45 left in the game. So Weaver all of a sudden looking a little nervous.
Well, and
kick
Brent,
is up and good.
I want to say they rolled some third stringers in on that last offensive. You kind of wasted an offensive possession there.
And Wasatch scores 2 touchdowns. You add in the onside kick, and all of a sudden.
I don't want to say, well, I don't want to say there's a little bit of arrogance, but I think that's exactly what it was.
Weber still with the upper hand at this moment. 2 touchdowns up, 55-41. But, boy, you got to admit, things have definitely changed in momentum.
Man, and again, man, I love offensive staff is noticing that they're, that was a great possession.
Yeah.
We took they were going to give us. They loaded the box up. We threw it. They unloaded the box and we gave them a heavy dose of Carter Bacad. And Carter runs the ball so hard, and that gives momentum too, right? Lyman loved to look at that.
Right.
That you might have missed your block, but Carter made a great move and he gained 17 yards.
Right.
That's going to make you feel good. Hey, and no penalties to bring that back, Brent.
Right.
I think that was maybe one of the only drives we didn't have a huge penalty after a.
Well, they did have penalties, but they offset each other. That's right. Yeah.
True.
While the kickoff here, we'll look at other scores. Corner Canyon in a non-region game with Farmington, pounding Farmington 42-3.
Yeah. Wow.
Skyview looking really good this year.
They look
35-7 over Fremont. Look at that Syracuse-Taylorsville game. 59-0. Another onside kick, and it is bouncing around, and this time goes right in the hands
good idea.
of Salisa Moa.
Good idea.
It's a little bit of a risk.
God, it's 5:44 left, though.
Yeah.
You get a stop.
I don't know. I almost would have opted to put Weber back a little bit.
I would have too.
But you can't question it.
My son reminded me, my second oldest son, Zach, reminded me we kicked 2 onside kicks, Skyler Southam. 2 onside kicks against Salem, at Salem, that we recovered and won that game.
There is a bit of an upset in the making here. Lone Peak down 31-17 to Mountain Ridge.
Wow. And up there, the Bingham Sky Ridge is staying close there.
Yeah, I noticed that one. Yeah.
As loaded as Sky Ridge is.
Yeah. So here comes Weber. Oh, and then once again, a big run that time. Still on his feet. Boy, the big play comes right out immediately and sucks the wind right out of Wasatch. That's once again Dyson Parker. Parker almost took over the second half as their top runner, I would almost say.
My goodness.
In the second half.
And that's just one missed tackle of keeping them on this side of the 50.
Boy, that's a big
disheartening
run. Weber. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Wasatch. Looks like about the Wasatch 25-yard line. And without saying anything, once again, unbelievable
play.
Dyson Parker, hardly a scratch. And boy, he just flew through an opening in the line, and then before the backfield could notice it, unbelievable. Touchdown, Weber.
We don't have replays.
Dyson Parker.
We don't have replays tonight. I'd like to see the blocking scheme on that, and I'm definitely go back and watch it again. But they just own us at the line of scrimmage.
New kicker into the game for Weber. And I'm trying to see the number. It looks like 14 maybe. Can't quite tell. If it's 14, it's Jackson Hammonds.
Boy, this is the basketball score here. 61-41.
Well, Weber scored so fast again that time. So Hammonds gets the kick, and they're celebrating. So Hammonds listed here, the kicker, as a junior.
I'm not sure who that is coming off hurt, but it's like Cole Kelson hurt himself on that last play. He came up to make that tackle. And
so Wasatch, after getting within 2 touchdowns, gives up 2 big plays, and Weber scores again, 62-41. Back to a 3-possession score game.
Yeah.
So we'll keep looking, and Wasatch will keep learning.
Yep.
And we'll keep looking. Let's again.
You know what? We settled it. It's a preseason game, and
exactly.
And I think we had a little bit of a year like this last year where we were on some lopsided on the other end of a lopsided loss and come back and go down to Woods Cross and beat a good Woods Cross team in their own house.
And then they took some bumps. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, resilient. You got a great quarterback and running back tandem. JoJo is fastly become one of the better receivers in the state. And defensively, they're trying to figure it out. We had pretty good coverage there.
Yeah.
Will has played super good today. He has as a lot of the other kids have had some
kickoff
hiccups.
formation. Oh, here they go. Okay.
But right there, you got to win the line of scrimmage. You got to stop the run.
Go Wasatch will pick it up. That's Hire. Hire's going to get some space on the right side. He breaks a couple of tackles, comes all the way
and there's
down.
Number 6. That dude is a
Wasatch
baller.
40-yard line.
For
looking at the Weber team,
6
Joshua Hamblin looks like he's limping off the field very slowly.
Number 6 and number 9 for Weber are both very good football players.
6 is Jackson Jacobs, a senior, and 9 Tyler Payne, the one that you talked about earlier. He's just a junior.
So Moa's out here again. You know, one of the things we did defensively is we want to take their best player away, and
ball is given to
kind of done that great.
Carter Bacad. That looked like almost a face mask, but really no flags. I don't see any flags.
Carter, gosh, that's a 9-yard carry, 10-yard carry. We'll take that.
Still 5 minutes and 5 seconds left.
I wonder what this young man's average is tonight, especially in the second quarter. Second half, he is lighting it up.
It seemed like a little quiet. Passes deflected, intended for that time.
He jumped that super quick. Again, Carter Bacad lined up in the pistol formation, and that is when, as the running back, you're not to the side of the quarterback in the shotgun, you're right behind him. And they have blown that formation up. And so that running, look at number 9, he's coming automatically. Maybe they just called him off. He's coming automatically when they see that, and he's going to take that away. So they went to Carter, and Moa jumped it. So maybe you can get a pump and go.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for Wasatch. There's the pass cross field. Deflected.
Man, good play.
Great deflection there.
Number 6 just called his number again.
Yep, Jackson Jacobs.
That's a great.
That's a big play, because if that's not deflected, that's a potential touchdown.
Brent, that's exactly what you want to do as a linebacker, outside backer, is you want to kind of bleed to the quarterback's eyes and get underneath that pass and knock it down. I had a number 6 that used to do that for me at Wasatch.
The incompletion stops the clock at 4:45.
A bit of cover 1.
Matt Kelson back. He's going to hand it off. Oh, and that is,
I'm telling you,
still hit hard at the front line. That's going to be probably a loss of yards.
And that's 9 again. And I'm telling you, he is coming every time. You got to get somebody behind him. There's nobody in the right 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But you don't, kind of the surface of your men, you don't have anybody you don't have a tight end option. So
it'll be 4th and 12. Sorry, 4th down. Wasatch, final opportunity here on this drive.
They say two deep
to
safety.
Extend it.
Kind of a
4 minutes left. Kelson's back. He's going to look. He's going to run a little bit, but he's going to pass, and no one there. So, that'll be a change in possession, and Weber will take over.
It looked like Mason Gomez is right at the sticks too. So he didn't see that one coming. That's Hutch Solomon. 85 is Hutch Solomon. I apologize, Mason. Hutch has stopped on a couple of plays, and I'm just like you said, just some miscommunication. But when quarterback scrambles, rules are off. You got to come and help him. And us needing a first down right there, you got to get to the sticks and sit down.
Weber will take over on loss of possession there at the Wasatch 48-yard line.
That's legal. When we can't jump over people. I remember getting a flag back in the that's a flag. Again, heads down. They'll pick you up there, Brent. Brent's a little choked up on that play. That'll come back. You can't high school ball, high school rules. You can't jump a player. It's a safety thing. Athletic play. Swain again. You know, and they're running back by committee. If it's not Swain, it's Parker. You've seen a little bit of number 22, Jed Adams in there. Mo has been a little bit quiet tonight. Could we maybe we adjusted the coverage? They do need. They're probably trying to run the clock out a little bit. So 1st and 20 ish.
Weber with an opportunity here to just kind of ride this game out.
Yeah, 3:35 left.
Clock's just running, and they're just letting the clock go. Ketchakarne hands it off this time to Nkosi Swain. And Swain gets a couple yards.
How that ended up positive, just a hard runner. Again, we have him locked up. And we can't get him to the ground.
It'll be 2nd and what looks like about 20. Not quite, about 17.
Well, Brandon, I'm looking along the sidelines. I don't see anybody on the stretcher. I don't see anybody with limping or in crutches.
Yeah, we had Wasatch had 2 or 3 injuries where players had to run off, but all of them do look like there's a flag once again. Boy, Swain gets all the way down.
He runs hard.
Gets down all the way. It looks like it's going to come back though. And I'm not sure what that call is. What's this? I mean, this is pass interference.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Illegal block? It's got to be a legal block outside of the. You know what I mean?
Or
like
I was thinking an illegal
cut block
or
something like that.
So once again, a flag extends this game just a little bit. Weber is going to come all the way back now to 2nd and about 21. And the clock just runs down. So Weber doing necessary clock management right now just to make sure Wasatch doesn't get any spark of anything. There's Swain once again. Unbelievable. He's going to come back all the way to the original line of scrimmage. So that means it was a gain of about 11. Swain just keeps chalking up the numbers.
Wow. And, you know, and he hits the. No, we talked about a little bit about Jet Adams earlier, 22, younger running back, kind of cut from the same cloth, but he does not hit that hole like Swain does. Runs really hard. And again, for Weber, look at number 9, the linebacker making a lot of plays. He's up there as that H back, making a great block.
Once again, Swain
and a 12-yard gain. You can't battle that. So
yeah, that's just so athletic. It looks like we do have somebody warming up on the sideline for Wasatch, possibly a quarterback change if they get possession.
Again, Brent, it's I don't know that they're doing anything special. They got more hats on this one side of the ball, and they're picking up our our defensive end on the left side just getting, number 9's picking him up and just pushing him 5-6 yards back.
We were letting the play clock go all the way down. That'll be an offside. Oh, no, referees did have to call it. And that's going to make a first down for Weber. So 43 seconds left in the game.
Hey, they made this a game after starting out 21-0. We were late in the broadcast with some technical difficulties, and man, Brent, I don't know that I've ever seen a game just that. I mean, other than the Utah game on first play, but down 21-0, and for us to come back, we definitely have the offense to do that. Defensively, we have got to find some answers, though.
Yeah, that would have to be the biggest thing at this point is the defensive worries a little bit of what they've had 3 times now. Teams have scored 55 points or more against Wasatch. So it looks like that'll be the final play of the game. Final score, Weber Warriors 62 and Wasatch Wasps 41 here on opening night at Wright Tree Stadium in Heber City. And a lot of respect for Weber tonight.
Absolutely. Three losses, but 3 tough losses for them. They came in very well prepared. Not that it separated them. I think them executing, I think the play calling, they were taking what was given to them, and we were giving them a lot. Don't get me wrong, but we shut down the run, and then he passed it. Good quarterback play from Weber. Good quarterback play from Mac. Just a little bit, just too much for us tonight, and we just kind of behind the 8 ball. It seemed like, again, I think I was mentioned earlier, nobody's really banged up. Like no one's coming off on a stretcher, but we got some owies, we got some kids holding stuff. Like Cole Kelson's, he's been off a couple times. Mac got rocked a couple times tonight, but man, Mac's resilient. But that's just it. That's high school football.
It seems like you mentioned Will Wright. Overcame a little injury and made some great plays.
And he did. And, and gave up that touchdown at the end. And had great coverage, really great coverage. Just, again, good receiver.
Yeah, you can see the Weber team enjoying a little bit about
their first win of the
season. And
we felt it last week. And
Weber, I mean, they're playing a pretty good Wasatch team that's played, but you got to end up addressing a little bit defense and just hope that. The other thing I got to compliment Weber. Boy, they had a rough week.
Yeah.
And boy, it certainly didn't look like it. They looked like they They just maybe those type of things sometimes bond teams together.
Yeah. Well, and again, just like I think a lot of those problems are created by adults. I think sometimes the adults take it harder than the kids do.
Maybe.
And being law enforcement for 20 something years, you walk up and the house is burning down. The kids are over there playing cars. So a little bit like that. And maybe Weaver's house is burning down and the kids are, they just kept preparing.
Just play.
He's a really good quarterback, great running game. And again, if we can't win the line of scrimmage, it is a long night. Hey, I thought the offensive line did admirable. When you give Mac time, he finds those receivers, and those receivers are patient and set in the zone. He one of the better quarterbacks in the state.
Well, let's in the last couple minutes here talk about a few things. Wasatch, we mentioned next week will be on the road, the first region game at Orem High School in this new Region 7 setup. And Orem, not a regular.
No,
That'll
not a regular, not
setup.
And probably still the class of high school football in the state right now. They're still in the upper echelon, and you're going to go in and you talk about they're keeping it close with West Jordan.
West Jordan beating right now over Orem in the fourth quarter, 41-35.
So not the Orem of past, but still really well coached. Yeah,
So
Springville team. And Springville down a little bit too. So for me,
46-0 over Cypress right now.
Geez, you got to look.
Cypress got
to be not very good if the Springville's thumping them like that.
And then Maple Mountain getting beat by a really tough Lehigh team right now. So, all the teams in our region look like they're taking on tough teams and trying to get beefed up a little bit but excited to see region. For those Weber fans that might be watching, they will be at Granger. No, sorry, they'll be at home next weekend, Friday night, the 8th, against Granger in a non-region. And then they begin their region play in Region 1, 6A, on Friday the 15th.
Not a walk in the park. That's some good schools
Davis.
there. Yeah, Davis, Syracuse, Farmington, all very good teams.
Very good teams.
So, passing the eye test, when I walked in today, Weber was not bigger than us. Matter of fact, it's funny. Every year I come down here on the field, our guys look a little bit bigger. And I remember coming out and every team being bigger than Wasatch. But, I think matching up to them, but obviously they own the line of scrimmage. And so their blocking scheme, we just, we've went from a 3-man front to a 4-man front. And it just, we are still behind the 8 ball.
This, looking, one more final look here. The region starting up for Wasatch, as we mentioned, next week. But look at the schedule: Orem, Maple Mountain, Springville, Timpview. In most cases, that is a tough schedule. And then Cedar Valley, definitely holding their own in this new region. So as big things might come to town and leave, big things are still in the waiting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
For Wasatch. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Corey Lang sitting here by us. He has had a great night. And it's been a lot of work on him and the crew. So, Corey, great job as always. As we mentioned, thanks for joining us on Sting TV. And we'll mention one more time, any businesses out there that might be interested in sponsoring Sting TV, we would love to hear from you. You can reach Corey Lang at his email, corey.lang@wasatch.edu, or me, brent.martindale@wasatch.edu. We would love to hear from you.
And I'm not sure of the word. Sorry, Brent. I'm not sure of the word, but what was our viewership so far? About 1,000 people.
Usually
tonight.
Pretty average, that many a night. And
so if you're looking at advertising your business locally, there are plenty of opportunities here. We are reaching a ton of people.
And it's a lot of fun. You can have your commercial done by the studio. Corey Lang does this for the kids. So, in fact, someday, Ken, we kind of want kids to be doing this, what we're doing, and be able to have them. So, it's a fantastic program, and you would be sponsoring a great cause and a great opportunity, as you mentioned, exposure for your business. So, once again, we'll go ahead and say thank you and good night. Thanks for joining us on Sting TV. Final score: the Weber Warriors come into town big over Wasatch Wasps, 62-41. And coming up next, region play. So thanks for joining us here. I'm Brent Martindale with Ken.
Love to do
Purdy
it.
And
love to be
Corey
here.
Lang. So we'll see you next time on Sting TV.